You didn't do your clap, Jimmy.
You guys want to do another one?
Yeah, we're gonna have to resync here. Okay, 3, 2.
We're gonna have to scrap this episode.
He was off time again.
Me?
Yeah, you. 3.
No shot. That was me off time.
We'll
Yeah, it was
see in
you
a
off
couple
time.
years.
Yeah. 3,
Whatever,
2.
I don't care. I'm not
1.
clapping anymore.
Dude, you have to. It's for the editing.
I know how editing works. We don't need to clap more than once. It's completely separate.
Look, dude, if you're gonna start this off on a bad foot.
Believe it. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember. This is already going way better than last time. So I don't know.
I don't really remember.
Have you been on here before?
No. Actually,
okay.
This is actually my third time. The public's only seen. Actually, this isn't going to be a Patreon exclusive, right?
No.
Because that was something I did a podcast the first time I was ever on. We did like a 2.5 hour conversation, and then at the very end, you were like, "Oh, by the way, this is a Patreon episode." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine."
We've had this conversation on the phone, me and Poob, where he's like, I think the patrons want a guest like all to themselves. And I'm like, I feel like if I told someone they're coming onto our show and then they're only going to be shown to like a small percentage of the audience, they would tell me to fuck off and they wouldn't come on here. And then lo and behold,
What if you phrased it better.
A
small but elite core of audience viewers.
This is like
exclusive.
a TED Talk. This is like a TED Talk to the upper echelon. Yeah. The one person that we had as a guest for a patron episode, look how he describes it. He didn't enjoy himself. What the hell, dude?
Yeah, I think it was a presentation. It was the reveal, I would say. I didn't like the reveal. If I went in knowing, maybe it would have loosened me up a little more when I talked. I don't know. There's less people hearing me.
That's what we want to do. We want to loosen you up.
Yeah, please. But I was very nervous, I remember. That's the big difference, is I was very nervous. This time I don't care at all.
Is it because, do you think you're not
lose.
nervous because we have lost our mystique now that you've met us? Or is it because you've been doing this type of stuff for long enough that you just don't even care anymore?
I think a little bit of both.
Really?
I think I already know what the worst case scenario looks like because that was it last time.
Yeah.
And I know
once again, for the audience, it was so bad we couldn't air it.
Right.
Only episode
Is that
ever.
lost media, by the way? Like, is it actually everything is erased? There's no way of seeing anything that happened?
There's no way
made
for
us
me
delete
to,
it.
but I think I get the feeling Stolt has, which is our editor, I get the feeling he has like a giant blackmail folder of every bad thing we've ever said. And that lost episode might be in there somewhere.
Every time we say, cut that. Yeah.
It's
Folder.
either a clip, a highlight, or it's lost into his little blackmail folder.
Well, that just reminded me. What happened to the shifty character, the third guy? Where is he?
Oh, well. He's, Well, no,
He's
I
in
think
a better
he's
place.
I think he's down there. But he died.
He died.
Yeah, he
All right.
died.
Yeah.
You guys had nothing to do with that, I'm assuming.
No, we blew his head smooth off.
Okay, cool. Nice.
No,
he made
he's,
me very nervous last time. I think it was a big...
He made you,
he-
Brian?
Yeah, dude. He used to sit in his little chair in like a dark room. I never knew what he was gonna do next. Like I had no idea what was gonna happen when he was sitting there.
I knew what he wasn't going to talk. That's why I know. Like that was the one thing I knew was not going to come next.
It is kind of nice having like a foreboding, like menacing presence on here. I never thought about that aspect of psychologically scaring the guests.
It worked. I don't know if that was
important. I feel like
It's almost like the Eric Andre show where they have that Hannibal standing behind the guest, just looming. Yeah. Check this out. Before we started, I went and got a Diet Dr. Pepper. My daughter drew me a Minecraft chest.
Ooh.
She just gave that to me before the episode started.
How does that feel, getting something like that handed to you?
Well, first, a little bit disappointing because the dimensions are way off.
Of it.
Dimensions
also.
are fucking way off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the perspective's a little bit off. And I asked her first, I said, is this supposed to be a literal interpretation of a chest, or is this kind of more free-spirited? And she said, that's a photorealistic copy of a Minecraft chest.
They're supposed to be more wide than deep, right?
That's why I walked away with a frown. Yeah.
Try again.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go put some eye drops in.
Yeah, you are already tweaking 1 minute into this.
That's crazy.
It's we got big lights, I think, and for the past 10 episodes, he's just like,
because of the lights.
I did turn mine on. Yeah, they're pretty bright.
Well, I think honestly, when I was streaming for like every day back in January, I realized that putting a hat on was actually a huge power play for that. It helps way more than I thought it would. I was like, well, the light's still hitting my eyes, but I don't know why it works, but it does. Maybe he's got to be a hat guy.
It's not because I'm completely bald underneath it.
Yeah.
It's because the light, it refract or something, and it will hit the hat.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Very interesting. You just missed a really interesting conversation.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. Hey guys, welcome to Forehead Fables podcast. This is your boy Sam.
Wait, did we even do
and
that?
Sam and our guest Jimmy. And
hey.
This is the beginning. Cut out whatever the fuck they were talking about while I was gone.
Dude, they can't.
I wasn't here, so I'm pissed about it. Was it anything good?
An interesting thing we'll talk about all day.
Was it something awesome?
It was,
yeah.
The word sublime.
What's more important, me listening to it or hydrating my eyeballs?
Is that going to even solve your issue? I think you might need to put on some shades or something.
It feels incredible. I've tried everything. I've tried I have the dimmest light known to man gazing down on me. And it's still, yeah. I need what you have. You have a hat on, Jimmy. And you got Batman.
He would have liked that conversation.
He would have really liked the conversation. It looks like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What? Wish you were here.
Basically just talked about wearing a hat to block the light.
That's literally what we were talking about.
Dude, they don't make them big enough for my fucking head is the problem.
Dude.
No, I have that one. I have the one Jippy hat. And I was like, guys, it fits my head. And then everybody just made fun of me. They're like, it looks like a fucking yarmulke. Because you have it flattened out so much to fit just on the top of your head. And
I think it was not just the way you wore the hat, but maybe your shirt that day also looked funny or something. I do remember that. Yeah, people were really giving you hell.
Yeah. Oh, I was wearing a Yu Yu Hakusho shirt, and it's like a 9-year-old shirt. It looks like a child.
Like a little kid. Yeah. That was awesome.
Oh shit.
Well, what about don't you have a really big fish hat? Like a huge bill.
Yeah.
That'd be like the perfect hat for blocking.
That would block
a lot of light.
A lot. But it's so tall.
What about your Morpheus glasses? Morpheus has been also, we told you before, Jimmy, that Dr. Manhattan's been pretty hot in here.
Yeah.
I'd say Morpheus is just right behind him in terms of kind of relevance.
And just overall,
really cool
interest.
In case you're wondering, Magneto's kind of fading out, but used to be real big.
If you're going to bring Magneto up, it better be a good bit. If you bring up Morpheus or Dr. Manhattan, it can be less funny because it's just more relevant right now. So
Magneto, you used to just be able to rely on doing the arm pose and you get a lot of laughs here. Yeah. And it's still almost there, but it's gone out enough where now you'd have to do maybe a
Are these things actually big right now, or is it just big in your guys'?
It's big literally on this podcast and
just
nowhere
on
else.
The podcast.
Just nowhere else does anybody even give a shit about Dr. Manhattan or Morpheus. But
I was really questioning how much I knew about what was going on.
Well, you're isolated. You're in your RuneScape world.
No, I'm not. Dude, don't say that. No.
You're like a RuneScape guy, aren't you?
No, dude. No, I broke Warcraft. I went to World of Warcraft for a little. Now I do both of those.
Okay. So you're living in two worlds.
Yeah.
Right
two
now.
worlds, and both communities are pissed about that. I think they're both upset that I'm in two worlds.
Really?
I don't know. Not really. I don't think anyone's really upset about it.
Have you ever heard the term constraint spurs creativity? You ever heard that?
Probably some variation of that, I'm sure.
Do you think I
have.
Do you think constraining yourself to one genre kind of helps you create videos, or do you feel trapped?
No, I think I talked to Charborg about that years ago because he envied that I was just in RuneScape because he said that he always panics thinking about what game to play next. And he's like, I wish I just had the answer to that already all the time, which has its trade-offs because, it forced me to find creative ways to approach a game, which is pretty much, the same game it's been for 20 years in a new way. But then also I'm playing the same game I've played for 20 years. So that sucks. But Variety's terrifying. Sometimes I think about it. I'm like, I don't know how you deal with coming up with a new video idea for whatever game. Trying to like, I mean, granted, you have an audience that's there for you, like for what you do, but that's still terrifying. You never know how they're gonna like receive things.
Yeah,
it's scary sometimes.
Yeah, I kind of feel like when you sit down and have like a certain niche, if you stay within it, if you stay in your lane, I feel like the opposite problem is I've now spread out so much that I'm pissing like anybody.
Too little butter over too much toast.
Yeah, because I'm just like, oh, I want to make like a cooking video now, and oh, I want to do this now. Or
cooking could use toast and butter.
and eventually people are like, what am I even supposed to expect when I come to this channel? Because I get like too in a rut if I'm on one game for too long, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I look at those people like, do you know like Magnus Carlsen is the chess champion?
Yeah.
He's regarded so highly. And then I'm like, that guy's been playing a fucking board game for his whole life. It's sad in a way that that's what he does.
He's probably not even good at like Call of Duty or Madden.
No, I bet you he doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing on Gary's mod, you know?
Yeah.
But
it's sad.
If he's a champion on his little checkers or whatever, that's cool too.
And people don't even play that game, so it's like probably easy.
Yeah, I did.
I'm the winner.
Did you see the video of him getting beat by like the number 2 guy? Yeah, and he was very angry about it. I guess I'd be the same way too if I was just dominating my sport for so long and then
that's why it's best to never reach the top because you fall.
Every time I hear about chess, it's always talking about how someone cheated the last time. Like someone.
Dr. Lupo.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was the recent one. But like the real chess guys, like the top ones, there's always some story about how they're, putting vibrators up there and buzzing it. Someone buzzing it in the crowd or something to show what to do next.
That's a genius.
Bluetooth roast toy in my opponent.
I don't know. It's all I hear about in the chess world. So that sucks.
Wait, they do that? They do like
like how
vibrator?
People put cards up their sleeve?
Yeah.
They'll put like a pawn in their sleeve and put it on their side.
Oh.
And then be like, oh, well, I got my pawn back.
Do they? Does that work?
I don't know.
I feel like that's a better cheating point than putting like a vibrator up your ass and hoping that you can do the Morse code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what. Oh, they're like getting signals from people.
Someone's using like a cheat engine in the crowd, like telling them where to go. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Cool.
I don't actually. By the way, you brought up Dr. Lupo. Yeah, you brought up Dr. Lupo cheating, and I feel like I don't look down on him for cheating there because was he in like a competition?
He was in a charity competition.
Charity competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't look down on that because it was like.
Well, no, he's not like a chess guy. He's like a dumb streamer. Like I would naturally assume you would lose as a streamer, and so I would. I mean, if you've even played chess before, I wouldn't cheat. I'm just saying, like I understand, like if he got in there and was like, oh shit, these people know how to play, and I just play like Counter-Strike all day or something.
I have to beat these chess pros.
Well, yeah, if you win the charity match, that's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So
anything for charity.
Yeah.
Well, anything for winning.
Right.
That was his mindset. I feel like I don't think he cared about the charity.
I don't think so.
What was the charity for? Was it like for disadvantaged chess players around the world?
Yeah.
Or something.
So people in wheelchairs could play chess.
In the park?
Ramps up to the chessboards at parks. Enough with the stairs at the park to get up to the chessboard.
That'd be cool if it was like a charity game where have you ever seen the old-timey chess where they actually have physical people be the pawns? And they go like
old-timey?
Like, that's real?
That's real, yeah. Like you're like an old king and you go like pawn move and like he's
so cool.
Yeah. And then you could have disadvantaged children go through. And then the winning team
is a Harry
gets
Potter
rewarded.
episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely.
Where do you think they got it from? That lady wasn't. She's not like that smart. She got that from history or whatever.
From kings and queens.
Okay.
I bet those are named after kings and queens too.
See,
the pieces.
Yeah.
Wow, that's from history.
She didn't make that shit up, dude. Hogwarts Castle was not the first castle. There's been other castles. Like she just took what had already been there and added on to it. But now I'm actually really doubting here on whether or not full-scale chess has ever happened. Human
never really
chess.
Thought about it, but like Hogwarts as a name shouldn't work so well and be like so fitting, but it's really just a gross name for a school.
It is, yeah.
Because it makes me think of like penis, like
really every time you've like as of now
Hogwarts.
Or every time before this
As
you were
of
thinking
now.
okay, because
before I just thought
crazy.
Hogwarts, school for wizards and witches.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
1454 was the first time someone did a human-sized chess game, and apparently it's done every year in a certain city, and it's a part of Renaissance fairs. How cool is that?
That is cool.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You think
bad.
they'd have them actually like Harry Potter strike, like kill the pawn?
I'm telling my pawns beforehand. Yeah, you don't pull punches, dude. This is a game to me, but to you
are
on
all
the field,
sacrifices.
it is not a game. Yeah,
I'm sure that happened at some point in history.
yeah.
If they were doing chess games like that, I mean, people didn't care. They needed to entertain themselves somehow. So I feel like they'd, take the prisoners,
If
make
it-
them the pieces. Who cares?
The king made me a pawn. I'd air that place out. I'd bring my fucking gun. I'd take out the whole board.
I keep looking back to the guy. I got a line on the queen. I can
Right, take
get
the
her from
shot.
here, dude. I swear.
I'd shoot the horses. No, I wouldn't.
When you look up like human-sized chessboard, the first thing that pops up is it's just an old black and white image of the knights are on horses.
You'd think they'd have to be.
Yeah, I feel like the horse would get so fucking tired sitting out there because some chess games take forever.
I think horses mainly just stand around. It's like, I don't know how tired they get from just standing. It's like basically what they do.
Yeah, that's true. When you see one laying down, it's odd.
Yeah, I think they've got like mechanisms in their legs, not like machinery, but they can redistribute their weight and take it all off one leg at a time.
Yeah, it's called having four fucking legs, dude. You can,
But they do it better. They do it better than like a dog.
If you are on all fours, you can take weight off of one leg. Like my dog can do that too because sometimes she points.
I'm just saying
She
a
puts
horse
one
can
foot
stand
up.
a lot longer than Gwen.
Gwen can't stand for 40 fucking seconds, dude. That dog is
That's what I'm
fat
saying,
and lazy. But she's not like
Even a fat horse can stand for, I've been told before, 19 hours.
19 hours straight.
A fat horse, a big one too. So
Yeah.
there's mechanisms. So World of Warcraft, they call it WoW. I didn't say WoW when I played it. Flip it. I said, Mom, can I have some money for World of Warcraft cards? That's just a little joke we have been workshopping before the episode started.
We
so
for the past week we sat there and went, dude, we need to meet so we can prep for Jimmy. We need to meet so we can prep for Jimmy. And then we met this morning about an hour before this episode.
joke.
Yeah. And he goes, wow, what about Mom?
Yeah. What if we
Mom,
flipped
can I
it?
have
There's something there.
And then he said, we're going to save that for the episode. And I jokingly said yes, thinking it was a joke. And then he uses it. He
And now
actually.
I'm picking it up. Well, I think it's really got legs, but we'll have to workshop it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So anyway, though, what does WoW stand for? Interesting. Very interesting.
It was a good
So is it
workshop. I
fun?
showed up 30 minutes into this workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So what's more better, World of Warcraft or RuneScape?
Very different games, Poop. Very different.
Really, from
So
the
they're two
outside looking in,
different
they look basically identical besides some graphical differences.
Yeah.
And what do you
Yeah.
think about the new RuneScape game?
Not very good.
Is it
Oh, you're not
Okay.
like your old
Not
school,
very
man.
good.
Yeah.
Well,
looks like Enshrouded RuneScape?
well, yeah, they basically they found some developers. This isn't. I don't know if this is factual, but this is what it seems like.
You can say anything on here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they.
You
It
can lie.
seems like they
Facts.
found some devs making an Enshrouded clone, and they're like, hey, do you mind if we purchase this and skin it as RuneScape? And then they did that like a month before releasing it. That's what it feels like. It's not very good. It was one of the worst early access games I think I've played.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, not very good. Don't play it.
Now, Sam, you've been playing a lot of Dune. Is that like World of Warcraft?
Dune, well, I was, you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't played a lot of MMO type games because it seems like a lot of busy work where they're like, go do this and then go do that and go do this. And I get my eyes roll in the back of my head and I get bored. And playing that new Dune game, it feels like a lot of that where they're like, go over here and pick up worm dust and then go over here and like do this and that and build this and then use that. And it's
do you feel satisfied when you finish a goal?
No, I don't get any satisfaction from that, but I did play it enough that I got to a point where they were like, okay, now you're finished. You need to pick up all your shit and go over this desert, this big stretch of desert here and go northward. And I was like, okay. So me, Stalt, and Dugo and Bizzle, we all picked up our shit and we went to go north. And lo and behold, that fucking sandworm ate me and Bizzle. And then you respawn back with absolutely nothing. It's like Rust. You die and you lose it all. And then we got a second bike because the inside the worm was like a apparition. And it was a guy like, you got eaten by the worm, didn't you? Well, here's a bike because I feel bad for you. Don't get eaten by the worm again. And so we went across the same stretch of desert. But this time we did, have you guys seen Apocalypto where they do the zigzags while they're escaping?
Yeah.
We tried to do that.
For the tree line.
We figured that would confuse the fuck out of the worm. And the worm just ate us both again. And this time the guy didn't give us a bike. And so then we were just naked guys in the blistering sun dying. And like the way the sun works in that game is actually very cool. If you're out in it, you get dehydrated super quick. And so you spend a lot of time just cowering behind rocks in the shade. And I'm just hiding behind a rock, asking people as they're doing their stuff, like, hey, I see you got a bike out here. You mind driving me across this desert? And so I hitched a ride across the desert. And now that I know that everything can be taken from you, it kind of raises the stakes a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
because you can take everything from someone.
I'm assuming that's coming down the road at some point. Yeah. But it's one of those games where I've been in like tutorial hell for... I'm going to check right now. I feel like I've been playing the game for so long. What's the name of it? Dune Awakening. 15 hours still in like tutorial area where they're telling me how to do. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot of getting to, I just kind of want to go to my next door neighbor's house and blow his fucking door down and steal all of his spice. That's really what I was hoping to get out of the game.
Do you ever like use your, I don't know, internet pull to get things in games? Like, would you tell a guy like, I want a bike? Hey, also, here's who I am? Or are you above that?
So I went to the Harkonnen village. You know, like the Harkonnens have like a main.
But they knew you.
And well, my guy looks like a Harkonnen, and so I was like, I'm joining these guys. Like straight up, this place rocks. They had a cool bar. Went to the Atreides city. Their bar sucked, dude. They got no vibes over there. The Atreides kind of weak, but Harkonnens, they got an established theme. Looks evil, looks cool.
Brutalist.
They're doing drugs in the bar. Pretty tight. Cool. Open drug use is definitely my type of bar. So I was definitely going to join them. But then we noticed that the bartender, you can buy like some cool clothes and stuff. And so, of course, I got the Harkonnen like shirt with the high collar. You can't be evil without a high collar. And then I realized we had flown to get there. Once me and Bizzle had bought our high collar shirts, we had no money to leave. And when we went to go walk out the exit, it's like, you can't just walk out. You need to like fly out of here. And so we had to like beg people. We're like, please give us some money. We need like tax money to get out of here.
You guys know Die Laughter?
Please, somebody.
It's two of the guys from Die Laughter. Give me a ride.
And we ended up some guy was like, just talk to that person. They'll like fly you out to one location. There's like a free taxi out. But no, so far I haven't found anybody that I can. The first person that recognizes me, though, I'm definitely going to try to get something out of it. Yeah.
Do you do that, Jimmy, for items in World of Warcraft and gold?
Yeah, you ever ply your celebrity in that game?
No,
because you're so entrenched into that genre, I guess, between World of Warcraft and RuneScape.
You're probably like a hero.
I'm sure
genre.
Every person that comes across you knows you.
I played WoW because it was a creator thing. I didn't do it on my own accord. Like I went in doing, they call it the OnlyFans event, and it was basically a bunch of streamers doing it. And they knew that was a thing that everyone would do, is say, hey, it's me. You like me, give me money. So they made it so that we could only trade each other. We can't trade anyone outside of the guild. So no one could do that. So I couldn't do that. And people did try and do that, and they got
scumbags.
They got kicked out, publicly humiliated, which was cool to see.
Who?
They were very...
Yeah.
Huh?
Humiliate him a little bit more. Some names.
Yeah, I want some names.
Fucking name? What's his fucking name? He's got a huge bushy mustache.
Sequisha?
Sequisha, yes.
Sequisha,
no.
Yeah, he got kicked out because he cheated twice. He cheated
twice?
Twice, 2 times. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The first time they killed his character. Second time he got to max level and started crafting things that were banned from being crafted because it made the game too easy. So, yeah, and then he crashed out, as they say, and he got kicked out.
Is he making switches?
That
or
actually,
something?
I find that hard to believe. He seems like just like a chill guy.
He's got the mustache of a much more trustworthy man.
Yeah, he seems like a very nice person. Like I don't think he had
maybe in real life
intent.
he's nice.
It's crazy to but find out that he's an actual scumbag.
I don't think he's a scumbag. I think he just didn't like the rules that were.
Jimmy said it here, guys.
I don't think he's a scumbag.
We need to make clips for TikTok. So
yeah.
All right.
Do you have like a hot
guy
take
with the big
about
mustache?
Sequisha?
He's a big time cheater. Twice.
Yeah, dude.
Like hacks.
I
heard it was charity.
Now, the coolest thing that happened was the whole pirate software drama. Did you see any of that stuff?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. We even talked about that. That even made it to our world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was crazy. Being there for it. I have clips recorded on my end of him talking about how cool the game is if you play it in a hard way and how teamwork is important. So it's really funny looking back at that and how that spiraled his life downhill after that.
I really don't understand what there's a lot of people that are upset about his handling of it, which I can understand. But I don't really know what he did wrong besides smugness. That was the only thing that I saw is people were like, he's just so smug. What exactly did he do?
I could explain the situation a little bit. Are you talking about what sparked it all? Like the thing that really...
they were doing a raid and then everybody died and people are like, it's your fault, pirate guy. And he's like, well, my dad works here, guys. My dad works here. Do you not know who I am? Do you not know what my dad is?
Yeah, I mean, it is a hardcore dungeon. So, I mean, anyone who dies, they lose hundreds of hours of progress. He didn't die. That was the thing. Is I think 1 or 2 people died. But
that's
it was
why he's
like
getting canceled. He didn't die.
He didn't die. I don't even know if it was 2. It was either 1 or 2 people died. But yeah, he basically said there was nothing he could have done, and it's arguable that he was like the one character that could have actually saved them, based on what class he was and everything. And then he left the dungeon with everybody after 2 people died, and then refused to take even 1% of the blame for a long time. And Pirate Software kind of presents himself as this very knowledgeable, wholesome guy making shorts with all these pro-life tips. So the second they saw the second people saw a little sliver of something's wrong with this guy, what if there's more to this? It just attracted the internet.
I've been saying this for years, Poob. I've been saying this for years, dude. Don't ever act like you know anything. And don't act like you're a good person.
Good.
Don't act like you know anything, because
this is what Sam's taught me.
Yeah, because then
dumb yourself
eventually,
down, morally gray.
Bingo.
Because they can't get you.
They can't get you. If he had just been like, my dad's good at the game or whatever because he made it, but I'm just little stupid guy, Pirate Software.
Yeah.
Then nobody Because like leading two people to their death and then walking out and going, oopsie, that seems like something I would do. And nobody would ever get upset.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a page right out of my book.
Well, that happened. The Tyler one, you know that guy?
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, he did that multiple times in Dungeons, but he's like, he said it before. He's
Not
like,
my
I don't
game.
care about your characters. He's like, I don't care about your guys' characters. I'm just letting you know that. Like, if something goes wrong, I'm leaving. And he did. Like, many times people died because he left. But he said he was going to do that. So it didn't matter.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tyler's cool for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big respect to him.
Pirate Software should have been a little bit more stupid and evil. And he would be fine. And he'd be a better person.
Yeah. No one would have looked into this. Yeah.
I think that's the takeaway. If you were more stupid and evil, you would be a better person. Yeah.
I don't know.
And people would like you
scam
more.
someone for charity? I wish. Yeah. Dr. Lupo, everyone's like, you've built yourself up to be this hero, and then you scam for charity. It's like, you really gotta be evil if you want to be a good guy. Kinda.
There's something there. There's something there.
And it's an old one. The wise man plays the fool.
Yeah.
So
nobody ever expects anything better out of you. You know?
It's like drunken master fighting style.
Yeah.
Very effective because you don't, look at this drunkard.
Yeah. Do you have any
Borachi or whatever hits you with a jug and you're out.
Jimmy, do you have any like older siblings?
Only child.
You radiate only child energy.
What? Why? Why?
Because you're like a Children of the Corn type. You can just tell.
What do you mean by that?
So like
he's being nice by being evil, Jimmy. He's setting his expectations low.
No.
So that you can be surprised by him.
No, I was just I know I've told Poob this a bunch of times, but like I was led on to this idea of like an expectation of behavior based off of your previous behavior. Like my brother was like the most evil older brother of all time. He was always fucking up stuff. He like ruined stuff that was expensive for the house. He would throw parties at the house and fuck up property and stuff. He ruined my mom's new car. And my mom would just be like, that's Zach. He fucks stuff up. That's what he does. And then like me, I was like a golden little boy. And I remember like it was the day after he had done something horrific. And then my mom came home and she just blew up on me because I didn't unload the dishwasher. And I was like, bitch, like, have you seen, like, I am a golden boy. You cannot scream at me for.
I am a golden god.
I am a golden god in this house. I don't unload the dishwasher. All of a sudden, I'm the most evil child known to man.
Please, Dr. Manhattan, pull my mom off. Please.
I would have paid anything for Dr. Manhattan to pull the roof off the house, like at the end of the movie. And
pluck you out of it.
Yeah.
You live with him now on Mars. See, Jimmy, it's about doctors and stuff. It's interesting because he's blue and powerful.
Yeah. But cool. At that moment I realized I'm not going to be a little good boy anymore.
Yeah.
Because people
would be evil with a heart of gold.
Bingo. That's yeah. Because then if you do something nice, people are go like, oh shit, he's breaking the trend. He did something nice. That's incredible. Yeah.
What do they say? Like you can polish
a turd.
You can polish a turd, but it still stinks.
Yeah.
But if you have a heart of gold and then you surround yourself with turd, you still stink, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this, but there's still gold.
What we're saying is I stink, okay? But I'm heavy because of the gold.
Yeah.
I'm fat and stinky.
And that makes us better people.
Bingo. Yeah.
Than saints and people who actually do stuff for charity and philanthropists and stuff like that, because they're tryhards.
Maybe Dr. Lupo was trying to cheat so that he could bring more exposure to the championship. You ever think about it like that? Was he the biggest name in the championship?
I have no idea.
Maybe he saw it
He's
as
the
like
only one that I know of in there. So
I wouldn't have heard about it
if it wasn't for him. Maybe he was like,
Yeah.
these are a bunch of nobodies. I need to fucking cheat my way up to the top so people know to give more money to charity.
Yeah, it could have been. That
could have been.
Might have been thinking that
self-immolation.
Yeah. Or if he was funny, he would have turned on the stream and said, "Guys, I'm about to cheat on this charity match. Check this shit out." That would have been kind of funny.
A good person. Been like, I'm gonna scam the fucking shit out of them. I'm gonna spend the money on a new car.
Well, does he get money for the charity match?
I would hope not. That would suck for a charity match.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't really get how it worked at all.
I don't know how charity works either. I don't do it. So
yeah, I think it's like a tax write-off, to my understanding. Yeah. It's like a way to get a tax write-off. That's like the big part of it, I guess. I don't totally get it either. That's why it's like I don't support those big charities. Like I just do like ones that actually care.
Yeah.
How do you determine that?
I just hold on to the money until I find one good enough.
How long you been holding on to that, you think?
I'm trying to buy a house right now, so I'm gonna be holding on a little bit longer. But
that's what
that money's gonna
You'll find the right one. You'll find it. It'll be out there one day.
I just donate to
I have a question though. Going back to this expectation thing. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very off topic, but also on topic. Do you ever feel that with your videos, quality wise, of like you've set a certain quality of a video you make and you don't want to skip out or cut corners because you're like, all right, everyone expects me to have X amount of minutes of green screen and talking and then quality footage playing with friends. Like you have a bar that you set. Are you ever afraid that you're not going to meet that bar again? Because I go through this in my head almost every video of wanting to like not disappoint people.
Well, he's clearly talking to me.
Yeah.
And I'll
go ahead and answer that.
You too.
The bar. No,
come on,
Sam. Handle it. Do you feel that, Sam?
At first I did. And then I realized that one, that's unsustainable because you're always going to want to move the bar higher. And then two, I realized I had released some videos where I had gone to meticulous levels doing green screen work and getting the proper angles and to make it look believable and doing the lighting right and doing all this and that. And then ultimately it was just like a fucking, like it was more like I was just showing off that I was doing green screen work and it wasn't funny. Like there was no bit there. It was just me explaining.
Like, look at what I can do.
It was just me explaining stuff. And I'm like, this isn't funny. This isn't even fucking funny. So now I think more than anything, while I'm editing it, if I'm laughing while I'm editing it, I'm like, this is good enough for me. If it's making me laugh on like while I'm still editing and when I go to render, if I'm still giggling, then that's good enough for me. Now, sometimes you post those and the people go, that's not resonating with me. Mm-hmm. And I go, okay, oh well, I'll get them on the next one. That's what I always do, is I'll get them on the next one.
Yeah.
But there definitely was a time where I would sit there and go like, oh, it needs to be bigger and better than the previous one. But that was also like my most unhappy making videos because it was my most working it like a meticulous job and not so much like channeling there's two types of people that I feel like watch my channel, and it's people that go like, oh,
truckers.
Yeah, truckers. First of all, long haul truckers. And then there's people that are like, I want to see like this meticulous green screen work or whatever, like that shit. And then there's people that are like, I want to just see what a conversation's like at like a middle school cafeteria table. Like I just want to hear like some guys,
homeschooled kids.
Yeah, I want to hear some like bits from just some guys like locker room talk, just some funny bits of people riffing.
Emotionally stunted
people
in Arrested Development,
weak-minded people just giggling at something that they shouldn't be laughing at. And if I can capture that and put it into a video, then by God, I've done my job. That's the angle I'm going for now. I'm not going for like, I'll do green screen work if it accommodates whatever I'm making, but I'm more just like I'll make a cooking video where I take clam chowder and turn it into a popsicle and feed it to my brother because I think it's funny. Like as long as it's funny, that's all I care about.
Yeah,
and that's the long and the short of it.
That's important.
That's the important part. Yeah.
I've got no other.
That's literally it. That's my.
I'm kind of just like hype man.
Yeah.
He pays the checks.
Yeah. That's same thing with your videos, Poop. If they're important, if they're funny, that's basically the end of the day, right? I mean, do you care if they're like badass?
No, I mean, well, I don't even edit them anymore. So yeah, I mean, I watch them before they go out, and if I watch it and I'm like, that wasn't funny, most of the time it's my fault because they're cut from my stream. But
you really have no one. And Swift, your editor, is like a super funny guy. Like
he's really good.
You gave him bad ingredients.
I can tell you. Maybe I'm like, maybe dig in that dirt a little bit longer till you find something.
Make me funny is what you tell him.
Cut out all of that.
Yeah.
And then you save the 20-second clip that's funny and save it for the future. Make a compilation or something. Greatest hits. It's over the span of like 15
Do you not
years,
like editing?
4-minute video.
Is that not for you or what?
I did like 3 videos on my YouTube channel that actually I did have like fun with. But I don't know. Editing is, as you two would know way more than me, it's a grueling process.
It's a beautiful grueling
it's
process.
One of those things.
Yeah, it is
it's one of those things where like it was very satisfying when you get to a part where you're like, this is really funny and it's really good. But I don't know. I still have like a couple ideas for like some videos that I've just been like for years. I'm like, God, that'd be so good. The hardest part for me is just like actually doing it. And then it's such a daunting thing to start. I don't know. Like, also now I'm at the point where I haven't edited myself in so long. I'm like, I have to basically fully relearn Adobe Premiere.
You don't have to learn shit, dude. It's not that hard.
No, it's not.
The basics are surprisingly easy. It's like 2 buttons.
I've always wanted to learn After Effects, and every time I start a tutorial, I'm like,
no, don't learn that. It's not worth it. It's not.
I know Photoshop. Now, can I make videos out of that? If I could make videos on Photoshop, that'd be pretty good. But I would like to get back into making a video every once in a while. And if I buy a house, I'm gonna have to start making some money.
That's what I'm saying, dude. If you want that house, you better start learning Premiere again. I don't know. Maybe.
I can very easily just get too comfortable, and it's nice. I mean, I love being comfortable, but yeah, sometimes you need your back against a wall to really to motivate.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, like if you find an editor that you're like that
I really think he compliments it.
Yeah, it compliments. That's a good way of putting it, because every time I've worked with an editor, I've worked with great editors that understand like pacing and comedy, but
not your style.
There's just this fucked up part in my brain that every time they send me something back, I'm like, damn, I would have done that better than that. You know, like I can't get that out of my head.
And you're like, I couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I just have come across recently an editor that is like my golden boy. And I know exactly what you mean. Like, I super hypercritical of everything that I get edited and returned back to me. I look at it with a grimace on my face because I've done it before. I've edited. But when you get something back and you go, oh shit, I never even would have thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know it's a good editor. Yeah.
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 Yeah, this one goes out to you editors, not Stalt. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stalt.
Yeah, thanks, Stalt. He's got to put something snarky up there at the top. That's his trump card. Like, we can say whatever, but he has all the time in the world to come up with a little rebuttal that he puts in text above us.
I heard he uses ChatGPT to write those. Spread that around.
Do you ever get a moment while you're like, what's your emotional state from the beginning of when you start to edit something to the end? Because like, how long does it take you to like, from you have all the footage and you're sitting down to start cutting, how long until you're at the end?
God, dude, I don't know.
Or
it's a scary thing to think about.
Are you one of those people that like, once you start cutting, you go, okay, I definitely am going to need to flesh this out more, so I'm going to go back, and that's my style too. So it's like, it's one cohesive process, the recording and the editing.
Obviously it's not my Q zone as much as you guys, but I also had a really hard time with going back to an edit. So every one of the like 4 videos I made, I'd record for a couple hours, and then I'd have to start and finish the video in one sitting, or I would just never finish it. So I just spent like 14 hours sitting there like going insane and tinkering on it. I don't know why, but like if I leave a project, even on Photoshop most of the time, like when I do those like collages, I kind of like have to get them done in one sitting, or I'm just not.
That's insane because
like
I
need
need
stuff too. Like if
I need the what was it? You get like tunnel vision, and I'll sit there and hyper focus on something, and then I'll walk away from it. And next day when I come back to it, I go, that is the most unfunny piece of shit you've ever worked on, and I just delete it. I feel like you ever heard of like people cutting out like a scene in a movie, and they're like, it's like you're killing your baby. The foundations of every video is just a fucking baby graveyard. I'm like the John Wayne Gacy of making videos. I have so many dead babies in the foundations.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at when I did UX design. That was like a huge thing they always talked about. Like, kill your baby just because your first idea is one you really like. You don't have to stick with it. And I'd always be like, oh, I can make this work. Like I can grow this baby into a man. And most of the time, like
he comes out like that fucking freak from 300 that can't raise his shield. Yeah.
A racer.
You should have killed him as a baby. You should have thrown him off the cliff. A lot of
racer heads. Yeah. Oh my God.
But that's insane though,
like,
how I like asked Jimmy this question and then you answered. That was kind of crazy.
Sorry. I thought you were just kind of asking anyone. I didn't hear you say Jimmy.
It's out there. I don't care.
No, Jimmy. No, seriously. Really I want to know how long does it take you from start to finish? What's your production cycle?
God, I have no idea. I couldn't even. I'm trying to think. Like I have no idea. It takes so fucking long. That's how I think of it in my head. Like, it takes a really long fucking time. Yeah,
2-3 weeks.
I try and post more than once a month, but it's really
hard. Yeah,
it's really hard. I don't know.
You don't know? Do you have what's your emotional state from the
exact time?
What's your emotional state from the beginning to the end? Does it get like, are you happy with it the whole way through, or do you get? Is there like moments where you're?
You know what's funny is it's actually not until the very end where I feel the satisfaction, because it's not till the very end where I'm putting the music in the background, like kind of. It's usually when the sound mixing portion happens, which is the last thing I do, where I'm like, okay, this vibe of a song is complementing this the way that it was meant to. Now it feels like it's finished and complete. This is funny. It's presentable. But a lot of times when I'm just cutting the raw clips, I'm like, I can't tell if this sucks anymore. Yeah. This is why other people should be cutting this part, because I have no idea if this is funny. And I've also just watched it for the 9th time. And I have no idea what I'm listening to anymore. Can't tell if it's funny. But once I'm at the very end, then I realize, okay, it worked. It actually did work.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's fine. I was worried about nothing.
Do you guys get like super overconfident when you finish it and you're like, this is the best thing I've ever made, or no?
Maybe a long time ago. Like, okay. But I've learned that when you feel that way, it's usually not going to end well for the video. The things you think are your masterpieces usually aren't.
Yeah.
It can. What's weird it has happened, but
I'll sit there and be like, usually when I start editing, I'm surrounded by all the clips and I'm just wading through them, picking them up, looking, and then placing them on the timeline. I'm going, I'm going through gold right now. And I just have to find the biggest nuggets to show the world. This is incredible. And then I've realized like this needs to be more cohesive. It has to have like a narrative as it goes. People tend to like narratives more instead of just like smash cuts of just poop joke, Yeah. And so about 3/4 of the way through, I think every video is about the worst dog piece of shit that I've ever made. And I hate it. And then as it's coming together, and as I'm putting music in and putting finishing touches on stuff, I'm like, this is it. I kind of popped off. I kind of went crazy. But what's weird is the second I render it, that in between where I'm like, I have my finished thing, I love it so much, it's my baby, and then making the title and the thumbnail and the description and the fucking chapters and all the metadata, it sucks every bit of happiness out of my soul and my life.
I'll be right.
Yeah, it's fine. Go. And that's fine, dude. Go answer your call. This is very important for him.
Yeah.
And because I feel like you're distilling basically all your hard work into like is this little title and thumbnail, is it going to resonate with the people?
Yeah.
You know,
every time. Yeah.
And because like if it was up to me, I would just name it just like poop video 1, go, and then just let it go. But having it just be kind of boiled down to whether or not someone's going to click on it. I think that's why staying in a niche is so important, because then people go, I know what I'm getting with Jimmy. Yeah. You know, they're like, I've been following this. I know exactly, because you could just call it awesome RuneScape time, and people you'd probably wouldn't lose that many viewers. I upload a video called awesome whatever time, and nobody's going to watch it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I sit there and like, I struggle on trying to figure out how to wedge my way into the algorithm. And then I'm like, I don't even fucking care anymore. Yeah. At that point where I'm like, I don't even care anymore. What I need to do is sit down with, do you know Z-Chum?
Mm-hmm.
That guy fucking has like a laser focus. He's like Neo from the Matrix. He can see the code.
Yeah.
And he goes, this is what the algorithm needs. And he goes like, boom, title, boom, thumbnail. And it's like the perfect thing for the algorithm. And I'm like, I don't even know anymore.
The Rust guys are good at that. They have a gift. They're very, very good.
By the way, you were talking about only making like one video a month, trying to make more than one.
Uh-huh.
I had some guy in Discord that went from being like a sort of, if he listens to this, he's gonna be pissed. But at first he was kind of like a nice guy. And then he says things in a way that kind of make you just want to like choke him just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just like, hey dude, like what the fuck? Like you definitely like production's just fallen fucking way off. Production's just way off, dude. You used to make like 55 videos a year. What happened to that? I'm like, go look at what YouTube videos were when I started versus now. The bar has slowly risen.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when like Swagger Souls first came out.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, look, we're putting the text at the bottom of our videos. And people were like, whoa, is J.J. Abrams here? Someone's putting text with the words?
Yeah.
Text while they're saying the words, the text is up on the screen. This is incredible. This is state of the art. And now you see a video like that and you're like, what the fuck is this dinosaur? This absolute old dinosaur of a video and editing. And and now it's like, it's so much, because like actual TV is on YouTube now, basically, like TV quality stuff. It's hard to keep up. As
it is.
Which is why you guys start getting help. I got Dugo now, my assistant editor. He doesn't edit for the main channel or anything, but makes that second channel pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Editors
do you ever
game changer.
Do you have an editor?
Nope.
You don't? Do you think you could, or is it too much of your baby?
Well, I think I've had that mentality of it is too much of my baby, but I have to kind of suck that up and get a grip because like it can't be. That's not how production works. I've thought about that a lot. I'm like, okay, this is the only industry, the only media industry that people take this on as like a one-man army. Everywhere else you look, there is credits that roll afterwards of all the people that worked on projects.
Yeah.
So I can't do that forever. Like there's no way. It's not how.
That's what I want though.
Yeah.
I don't like getting editors.
I don't.
No offense. I know Stalt's like looking at this, but like I think Stalt will even agree. Poop's not here, but I'm like the worst fucking boss in the world. I don't want to be a boss. I just want to edit my little videos.
Yep.
That's all I want to do. I just want to edit. I don't want to tell people what to do. I don't want to be a boss. I like collaborative work, but at the end of the day, I want to just go like, nah, I want it this way. And I don't care what because it's my thing. But it kind of sucks scaling up a little bit because you become more of a boss and less of a tinkerer. You know, I just want to tinker with my little timeline. Go,
I do too.
Yeah.
I just talked about all this. Like, I'm making a video right now because the World of Warcraft stuff I'm doing, I'm putting it into like a series. It's gonna be like a six video series of the whole, I guess, November to February stream session. And I'm doing like an interlude right now between episodes 4 and 5, which is the video I have to finish after this 2 days from now. And I have a whole section in there basically talking about the production process of these videos, because the World of Warcraft community is this gold standard of stream, have an editor cut up that stream, have them come up with a title and thumbnail that make people click, and then give them a percentage of the revenue. That's how all of them operate. So when I upload a video 6 months from when the footage actually happened, people are like, what the fuck? This is 6 months ago. Why wasn't this uploaded the next day?
Yeah.
Even though it just took me hundreds of hours to compile everything and get it the way I wanted and write a script and film the green screen and all this. So I have a little section in there basically showing a production process of like what this looks like, just a little snippet of it, because it was very frustrating entering a scene like that and having people not understand what production looks like if you're doing it a different way than, stream highlights.
Yeah. That's why, like, it's hard to be, like, I feel like a lot of my friends aren't YouTubers, because YouTubers they're so solitary. They're always there in their little editor thing, doing their editing. Streamers are very like, I'm the kid in the middle of the classroom. Come hang out with me. I'm a little streamer guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like I play with streamers. I like talking to them. They're interesting people. And then I go, okay, now I must go crawl into my cave for 2 weeks to make this really quick.
Yeah.
And then when I come back, they're on to a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, we've been playing this. You haven't been playing it? And I go, I didn't have time. I was editing. And it is kind of sad. I feel like I'm the dork that has to go inside and do dialysis or something, like, while everybody else is playing football.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know if you remember this. I had this conversation with you like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember I got in a call with you sporadically. I didn't even expect you to call. It was during one of RuneScape's leagues. And I was talking to you about this because it's the same thing. Like, you compared it to a Tarkov wipe of like, this thing starts and then you start filming it and then you go and you make the video. And in the meantime, all the other people are still playing. They're getting far ahead. And you can't catch up.
Yeah, I come back and everybody's got armor and shit. And I'm like...
Yeah. And I always remember that conversation. I think about that conversation all the time because I remember what you told me in there. You're like, what you have to do, what you have to remember is all these guys that are going and making these videos. People are going to go watch those videos and then never again. And you need to make your videos, no matter what event is going on, what you're filming, you need to go and make those videos something that people will go and watch again. And that's going to make the difference. And I've thought about that so many times for like everything I've made, especially for this WoW series, because it's the same predicament of like,
I said that.
You said that.
Wow.
It was very wise of you.
That's crazy that I said that. Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't, I hate it when someone goes, I remember what you said 3 years ago, because I don't remember what I said yesterday. So
right.
I'm glad it wasn't me just calling you the N-word or something. So that's pretty wholesome that I ended up giving you good advice.
I'd block that out. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I called you the N-word like 30 times, so you have blocked it out. Yeah.
At the very least, yeah.
No, that is true though. Like, if you're gonna make a video, at least make it something where they go, even if they go, this ain't my cup of tea, this guy's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
They can't say it's not well made.
Right.
Yeah. Is my hope.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
It's a good goal.
Yeah. Because like sometimes I do go like, oh, it's a time crunch. I got to poop something out. And then I look at that video like it's a roach in the soup of my channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I wait and I go back a year later and I delete it while nobody's looking.
Have you done that? Like,
oh my God, dude. You know what's funny is I just had someone that one of my friends was like, dude, you're about to hit 1,000 videos made. And I go, dude, I made 1,000 videos 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Every time I get over 1,000 videos, I go to the backlog and I go, hate that one, hate that one.
Really?
And I delete them. Yeah, I delete old ones that I don't like. And you know what? I have never gotten an email from someone going, where did that old awesome video go? Because I picked the shittiest, stinkiest little videos that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
And I kick them out. There's a stigma about getting to 1,000 videos. I don't know what it is. I feel like once I'm there, I'm just going to get like a white beard and I'm going to get a MAGA hat and I'm going to get turned into an angry old man. The second I get to 1,000 videos, that's when that's going to happen. So I keep young.
I don't even know
hey guys.
how many videos I'm at. Hey, Poop, welcome back.
You know what's funny is that
Thanks.
you've been doing this for so long. I still think of you as like, this is the new guy, Jimmy. He's the new guy. And now you're like, you've sunk into it nicely. You've been doing it for years now.
I'm at 246. I'm not even close.
Yeah.
You've developed quite nicely.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna go pee my pants real quick. It's
okay, now I can grill Boob. Now that take turns. Okay, now you're in the hot seat. You see your great game, Splitgate. You see the Splitgate 2 dev?
Yeah. How could you grill me? Look how sweet I was. Sure, I saw it.
No, he
listen, Splitgate 2, here's a little tip. Fuck you, okay? Because they denied. I went there, okay? I met them at TwitchCon. I went to their private creator event.
Yeah.
I do all this stuff. I suck dick. I get my dick sucked. And very mutual.
The owner sucked your dick?
Felicia. No, not the owner, but I met all their devs and stuff. And then I'm seeing all this stuff on Twitter. I was so hyped for the game. I was kind of like a big deal in Splitgate 1 in the community. Some were saying none of the devs knew who I was or anything, but creators have called me the face of Splitgate 1, and I probably extended the life of that game by at least a weekend, maybe. I don't know. I was streaming it a lot. And then I meet all these people. I do their stuff. I get an email asking me, hey, do you want to do this NDA private event? I say, oh boy, that sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you. Then they reply, sorry, can't do it.
What?
Okay, yes, me.
Yeah.
And then, they denied me. And then it just kind of turned me off because I don't like being denied. Daddy don't like being told no.
Yeah.
And then after that CEO thing, I saw people were grilling them because they had like an $80 cosmetic bundle. And he said, I think he claimed that like, oh, that was a former employee who worked for Call of Duty. And like that guy did a bunch of ad stuff or like transactions there, microtransactions. It's his fault. And a lot of the comments were being like, this CEO just blames everything on Call of Duty. Like, this is a load of bullshit. I'll give him this one. I met that guy and he absolutely would do that shit. Because every time I talked to him at the Splitgate, like at their private event, he'd be like, yeah, and I'm the money guy. All I want to do is microtransactions. I used to work at Call of Duty, and I'm the reason they have so many skins. And Devin and I both were like, okay, dude, fuck you. Like, you're a piece of shit. And he was very adamant, like, they're the creatives. They're the devs. They do the games. I do the money.
I'm just the money guy.
He called himself the evil money guy.
Yeah.
And then the CEO's like, yeah, our evil money guy did that. And people were like, bullshit. I'm like, no, actually, that is
well, why can't they just roll it back and take the evil moneyness away?
Well, yeah, the CEO should know that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of a big concern at that event is how involved that guy seemed to be. And he kept being like, listen, you can make a game that's so good, but if you're not making money off of it, it doesn't matter. And it's a free game, so you got to have cosmetics. And I remember being like, I guess, yeah, it kind of makes sense. But, maybe keep them tasteful, keep them cheap.
Well, they just added a cum portal. I saw that. And people were...
Okay, well,
yeah,
that must have been one of the creatives.
Yeah, that one's only I think it's only like a $3 cum portal, which is way better than the $80 skin bundle.
Yeah, the skins look pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I'm still, I love Splitgate. Even though they scorned me, I love them. And
you know what the downside is? I went and looked it up before, and I'm not going to play the game, but I did see that on the Battle Royale, there's like a 4-second, 5-second timer per portal. What are you taking the speed out of the game? I feel like that's...
No, you can get too rapid, but like, I almost kind of like it because you can't just constantly. And here's my problem with the Battle Royale. I feel like when a game adds a Battle Royale, that game is now a Battle Royale game.
Yeah.
And like, if you play with your friends, they're going to want to do the Battle Royale.
And not the arena.
I don't know what it is about the genre. Yeah, but it's just like, if a game has that, people are just going to play it because the competitiveness of like, not only your team winning, but like first place, And I'm worried that them adding that, it's like, I just like a regular team deathmatch more, and that's probably going to be dead as hell. And now it's just a battle royale game. I played it a couple times. It was kind of fun. I didn't win every time though, so I didn't love it. But
what game are you talking about?
Splitgate 2.
Splitgate 2. It's not World of Warcraft or RuneScape, so you wouldn't know about it.
I don't know anything about it.
But I've heard World of Warcraft, I'd assume, has portals or of some sort, maybe teleporting.
World of Warcraft actually did come out with a battle royale last year. Like, maybe it was early this year. And everyone was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that this year?
Nobody plays anything but it, right?
It is kind of insane that you went from
I
like
bet nobody plays it.
RuneScape and they were like, I need to find a newer game to like main. We go to World of Warcraft. Came out in like 2004 or something.
Next step, Age of Empires 1.
It's a pretty big
StarCraft.
crossover of audience, I'd say.
Oh,
it wasn't like too out
like
there.
Good.
You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't like going to an FPS or something. Like,
That's
not
true.
many people playing that.
Seems natural.
Yeah.
Calculated.
By the way,
calculated.
you helped me with that fishing thing on Far Cry. We had so many funny clips I wasn't able to use in that video.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff on there. That was fun. That game rocks, dude. Far Cry rocks.
It does.
It's a good game. Good
Yeah.
game.
Didn't they come out with 6? Because I didn't play that. I've only played Far Cry 5 was the last one I ever played.
Well, after they had like the one in the Midwest or whatever, like that one we played in Wyoming, they kind of went off the rails because then they goes like
I never played that.
like
then they did Nuclear Bomb.
Yeah,
turned it all colorful.
That was strange.
Then they did something else. I don't know. Far Cry 3.
Very good game.
Yeah.
Very, very good game.
Blood Dragon or whatever DLC.
I actually like the one in the Himalayas. Like I don't think anybody else liked that one. That one was pretty good.
I liked it at the time.
They hit their stride.
I mean, I didn't like the story as much, but I remember being like, oh, fuck it, I'll play it. Yeah.
Those games to me are like, do you remember Just Cause?
Yeah.
Like Just Cause, like I don't even know the fucking main guy's name. Like
it could be like about robots. I have no idea. It could be about
I have no idea. The fact that you could just do like attach a person to a helicopter and then make the helicopter fly off into the stratosphere was enough for me.
It was a good sandbox.
Yeah, and that's what Far Cry was to me. And I thought,
see, Far Cry 3 story, I was like the perfect age of being like when they played Snoop Dogg remix while you're burning down the weed crops. I remember being like, this is one of the coolest things ever.
This is badass.
And the whole story from start to finish really grabbed me. And I don't know if you remember the co-op in that game, but it wasn't like you play the main map with friends. You went through, it was a whole different story, and it was kind of on rails and in like small enclosed areas. It wasn't very good. So I'm glad they made them actual co-op. That's cool. I've never done one co-op. Nobody ever.
I remember playing Far Cry 3 at the same time that it was around the same time I had watched that Leonardo DiCaprio movie called The Beach, where he like travels across the world and he is just some like trust fund kid and he goes to a beach and finds like a colony of people at the perfect beach and it's like hidden away, and then there ends up being like drug lords on the island that end up like shooting some of the people that are at this hidden beach, and it like was strangely had a lot of the same themes as the game, and so I think that movie hit me at the same time as that game did, and so that game does have like kind of a special place in my heart.
At the end, did you save your friends or bang the hot chick? Because that was very erotic.
I'm kind of well. See, the problem is I'm mixing the movie up
she rode you
the game, and I forget. Tilda Swinton's not in the game. Tilda Swinton's in the movie.
Absolutely not. It's like an island woman.
Yeah. Okay, I remember her now. Yeah.
She turns into like a huge giant.
Her name's like Citra or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I banged her and then killed her.
Like,
I think while she's on top.
See, I went the other.
Oh, you killed her and then banged her? Nice.
Gross.
That's gross, dude. I think if Jimmy wasn't on this episode, we wouldn't have made that joke. He brings out the worst in us.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to impress him.
His crude RuneScape humor.
I'm a little impressed right now, I'll be honest. It's nice. You guys
kind
are nice
of a bad
with
boy.
Yeah.
Hell, I killed her, banged her, then killed her again. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Then I killed my friends, banged them, made them bang each other, dead. Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah.
It was a good game.
Didn't he stay at the end? I think he's like, I'm staying. And then
I think even if you save because I think when I was a kid, I did save my friends because I was a pussy.
Yeah.
And I think you send them off and you're like, yeah, I'm like a god here.
I'm staying, yeah.
I got all these tattoos. I got all these guns. Get to kill people, get away with it.
Yeah.
Drugs, money.
Honestly, like the guy was in his young 20s. Yeah, that would be like the perfect place to be, I think, as a early man, young man. Yeah.
Murder Island.
Yeah, murder, drugs, sex island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems pretty fucking cool.
Even the beginning, the intro to that game, the cinematic with the paper planes.
Oh, yeah.
That is engraved in my head because of how cool that was.
Yeah.
For like an 11, 12-year-old boy.
God.
I could play it right now and probably be just as blown away.
How old are you again?
And then did you guys play Blood Dragon, the DLC?
Yeah.
Really cool. Really cool.
That was cool.
I'm now, as of a month ago, last time we had Jimmy on, it was like my birthday. This time, very close. First podcast since my birthday. I'm now 27 years old.
27. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. While you were getting like changed as a person by that game, I was like almost 20. Like I was like a fucking full ass man, and I was still playing it like.
What year did that come out? There's no way you were that old.
I was born in 1991.
Oh, it's 2012. So I guess I was 14.
Yeah.
So still.
Sheesh.
I mean, I was when I was 14, I looked like I was 10.
Yeah,
so
when I was 21, I was still playing it like I was a teenager.
To be honest, look the same age.
Do you?
Or do I look like I've? Yeah. Do we look the same age?
Are you 27 as well?
Yeah, I'm 27. But do I look older than that? Has this job aged me?
You act older.
Really?
Yeah. You don't look older. You look like a guy that sits inside and edits videos all day. So you look spot on for your life. But there's you feel older. I feel like
I have a certain naivete to me. Are
Poob,
you a homeowner?
Poob has retained his whimsy, and
that's why you're older.
That's why,
I can get there.
Once you get your mortgage, you'll be right up here.
Yeah. No,
I'm starting to feel it.
After you get a house, you're gonna have that moment where you're like, I'm fucking old. When you go outside and it hasn't rained in a long time and your lawn's dying, and you're gonna go, we need some fucking rain right now. And you start looking
I haven't even bought a house, but I think about when I look at a house and the lawn is all dry. I'm like, what are they just not doing anything?
You get sprinklers around here?
Every lawn here is dry, actually.
Oh yeah.
I've never worried about that.
Do you even have lawns?
Not really, no. Grass,
sand pile?
Not common here.
Jesus. It must be nice though.
Living? I remember at TwitchCon you said you live kind of on the outskirts, right? Or
yeah. Do you want the address?
Yeah. Just zip.
Yeah.
Why is that stuff like public, like where you live, or no? Like state?
I mean, people know. I think I've mentioned I live in Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't care.
There's not many people there, so it's fine.
There's not many people. Yeah.
That was the first city I've ever flown into where I was like, "What in the fuck?"
What?
Just
Why?
how far? Like how flat and long and stretched out the sub. Like I remember flying over where it ends and being like, what these people that live on the very edge of like just hundreds of miles of desert or something. And then you got to drive so goddamn far to get to downtown. I don't know. It was just very visually shocking. And there's mountains. I mean, it's beautiful kind of, but I remember also being like, wow, it's going to be really fucking hot when I get off this plane. And then being hit with gambling machines in the airport, that was also like a culture shock.
Yeah, coming in on the plane and you see like just hundreds of miles of desert and then just like the city just in the middle of it all. Yeah. Where do you guys get your fucking water?
It's like a testament to man's determination.
It's the Colorado River.
Oh,
there's not a lot of that.
Yeah, you guys are stealing from Colorado's river. Okay.
Is your like water bill higher than normal people's or?
Probably because of the pool, maybe. But
you got a pool out there? Damn, dude.
This guy is
having
a
pool is fucking nice here.
Yeah.
It is. It hit 120 last summer, man. It was brutal.
Jeez.
And it's dry.
It's very dry. Well, if it was humid in 120, we'd be dead.
Yeah.
We wouldn't.
It's true.
Be in Florida.
That'd be crazy.
It's better to have a dry heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now everywhere else except for the Strip is relatively normal and very much like every other town you've ever been to. It's just
Just
you
in
know,
the
just
desert.
hotter,
just in
Really
the
hot.
desert.
drier.
Yeah. Less grass, less trees.
More chapped lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
More
absolutely
chapped lips.
nothing like where I'm from, the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like it.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
I was kind of jealous of like when I went to Joshua Tree, there's some of those houses out there in the desert where it's like, I feel like you could just bring like a 1950s like caravan home out there and the sun beats on it. Yeah. But that's it. Like there's no other, all the things that destroy a dwelling are not present in the desert. You leave a body out, if
Just
no
furniture.
animals eat it, like it turns into a mummy and will sit there for thousands of years. Like it seems so
patio
nice
furniture.
to just bring a house out there or build a house and know that even if I put gutters on it, it's not going to need them. I'm never going to have foundation problems with like water flooding. I'm never going to have any issues with like hurricanes. Or they're not out in the desert, are they? Like
We
there's
have
really
no
nothing.
natural disasters.
Yeah.
You guys get potholes?
Sometimes, yeah, not very often though.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a static environment, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Truman Show. You're going to wake up, it's going to be hot as fuck, but you know to expect it. It's going to be dry, it's going to be hot.
Yeah.
Like one day robots will live in your homes because they'll still be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
My
going to
house
be
will
like
crumble.
Fallout. You're going to die and your robot's going to roam your house for thousands of years, picking up after
Skeleton
you.
at the dining table.
More meatloaf, sir.
Skeleton
Just
family.
piles it up on your dead body.
These two must have been children. Shaboom. Shaboom. That's rude.
Yeah. That's funny though. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably think I was a woman. They'd say, look how no dick he has because he's a skeleton. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's interesting. No penis on a skeleton. How do they even tell? What if no butt crack or anything? Neither. I've never thought about that. Very interesting.
Let's see. What else do I got here? I had some stuff to talk about. There was a guy that randomly
I can try that wow joke again.
Run
try
that back.
one again.
Yeah.
While you're looking.
Now, I have some.
So they call it.
Shut up.
Yeah.
This one's to the audience out there. Someone texted my dad and was asking about me.
Scary.
I don't know
Very scary.
how you got my dad's number. Okay. But
Don't do that.
don't do that. Yeah. He texted my dad. He's like, are your sons the ones that do the Appalachian Trail videos? Which is such a weird, that's like a weird little audience pool to pick from to be the person that contacts
And
my
if you
dad.
want to get information, be more subtle. Be like, hey, Sam and Zach, what's their last name and where they live again?
Well, I don't know what he wanted, but
Yeah, true.
yeah, my dad threw him off the trail by saying he responded in Spanish.
My sons are dead.
No, he
Well,
said-
now they're gonna know.
yeah, now they'll know
Oh,
that
yeah,
they got
wait.
my dad.
Now you put
So
them
I'll
right
edit
back
that
on
to
the
say
trail.
German.
Yeah. No, that doesn't bother me. You found my dad, so what? Big whoop. Go call him.
Yeah.
Go call him and say I
try to
said
find
hi.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah,
That's,
it's scary. It's not.
it's also
not-
a very weird thing to do.
Yeah, it is, and I'm wondering like where did they get his number? Because I feel like we're not tied online a whole. I don't even talk to my dad a whole lot, so it's weird that like they got his number somehow. Yeah.
What if your dad and that guy start like talking more
Cons-
than you and your dad? They get like really close.
that would be interesting. And, you know, maybe my dad's lonely. Give him a call. Whoever
his
has his
end
number,
game.
give him a call. Talk to him a little bit. He was joking when he sent you Spanish stuff. He was trying to throw you off the trail.
If you decipher it, it's actually a very sweet text.
Yeah. No, if you decipher it, it
Forget
says
about
my son's
them.
a hot air balloon repairman. He doesn't go hiking.
Yeah.
I think is what he said. And
That's funny.
yeah, that's old joke.
Pooh, you been recognized before? Like just go in random places? Is anyone? Like, are you Pooh?
Yeah. Yeah, which is always I must look different or something or act different in real life because it's always with a lot of hesitancy where they're like, I've even had people be like, has anyone ever told you you look like this guy? And I'm like, no, not really, because like not many people would know that guy. And I told the guy like, I am him, and he just wouldn't believe me.
Really?
He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, well, I know who that is, which is already like probably a cue.
1 in a million.
I look like him vaguely. I talk like him. And I'm wearing the hat he always wears. And the guy's like, no. I had to pull up Twitch on my phone for him to believe me.
I'm sorry. That's sad.
That
for
guy
you
was wasted,
for someone to be like, hey, you
I
kind of
know,
look like him. It's like, that is me. And then you're just like, please believe me. It's me.
He was starting to get on my nerves where I'm like, no, really? Like, it's me. And he's like, no, you're lying. I'm like, I think I even asked him, like, who would pretend to be that guy unless they were that guy? But yeah, it's happened a couple times. It's fun. It weirdly always happens when I'm with my friend Jesse, who's just like a really handsome, beautiful man. You know, doesn't always make me look good, so I wish that would stop happening. But he has like a really wildly skewed idea of how well known I am, because it's happened like 3 times with him in the span of it happening 3 times in like 3 years. But it's always with him. So I heard him once talking to his girlfriend and being like, every time Sam goes out, he gets recognized. I'm like, no, not really, but thanks, man. So he thinks it's pretty cool, which I like. But yeah, I always like it. I mean, it's cool. It's like a validating, like, yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm really popular.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's awkward. You have any weird experiences?
Well, I went to my childhood best friend's wedding, and one of his groomsmen recognized me, which was really weird because he just kept kind of looking at me a lot more than I would have liked. Like, because he was the first day of the wedding festivities. He was just like, he didn't know whether it was me or not, so he just kept like trying to look me up and down, figuring it out if it was me.
Subtle.
And then once I said something nearby and he heard my voice, then he like finally approached me and just told me all about how he's been watching my videos for years. I'm like, cool.
I know everything about you.
Very great that you told me. The other time was at a clothes shop while my wife's parents were in town, and some guy working there was like, hey, are you Jimmy? I was like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, love the videos. And her parents are like, did you pay that guy to say that? Like, why did they say that?
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a flex.
I was like, that's very good look for me, but
I gotta start doing that. Yeah, my girlfriend's parents also, most old people just don't understand this line of work. So they either completely think that you're not doing anything, but you know, they think you're not doing anything well, they think nobody knows who you are. Or like my girlfriend's mom, I think she thinks I'm like on Tom Cruise level. And I think my mom also thought that until she found the podcast, because she'd always just be like, I just feel like I'm just going to see you in the news one day. That's like, yeah, maybe if I like murder someone, you'll see me there first, but not really like a lot of overlap with news channels and what we do, unless it was bad.
Yeah.
But one time with my mom and stepdad and sister, a guy recognized me in a Barnes and Noble, and I had to very quickly pull him to the side because I was trying to keep it very quiet what this was called because of what, you know, how we are. And he came over and was like, are you? I'm like, okay, come on. Like, well, meet me over here in the records. And then I subtly talked to him. And then, yeah, that was a big one where my mom's like, oh my God, you're so famous. It's hard to explain because you don't want to crush him. My mom's also always just said that I should be, her dream job for me is to be George Clooney. And I never understand what she means, but she's just thinks I should do what George Clooney does. Yeah. And when I'm like, what, like actor? She's like, no, just like George Clooney.
just
like
that
just
guy,
become
just
him.
him.
Like I'm like, I love Ocean's 11. Oh brother, where art thou? But not really set up for that kind of life currently.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if anybody knows George. He's looking for a protege or something. Replacement for when he gets too old. I don't know. Yeah. He's getting up there.
I've noticed over the years it's actually gotten less stressful to talk about what this is, like what we do. I don't have to lie about it as much anymore for people to understand what it is that I do for a living.
It's because you ain't in the South, boy.
Yeah, it's worked its way into people's knowledge nowadays. Like 3-4 years ago, it would have been like, what are you talking about?
Dude, in 2015, what are you, like, explaining it to my grandparents?
Oh, yeah.
It was like, because they didn't even know what a fucking computer was. Yeah. They didn't know what a computer was, man. No, like, I was doing it for a living while my grandparents had an old, like, it was an old computer that just had orange and black on the screen. And the floppies for it were like the big 10-inch floppy disks that you'd put in there. And I was like, I make my money on the computer. They're like that computer back there? I'm like, no, not like that fucking piece of shit.
Inside of it?
Not like that thing from like 1985, like an actual computer. Like, just explaining to them what the internet was inconceivable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to old people just don't. My realtor, I've gotten better. I'm trying to make an active effort since my mom found the podcast to be more open about it. Because when you're too secretive, it makes it just look way worse. I've learned where and people probably think I do porn or, you know, I'm on like a Mansphere podcast, which we kind of are. I mean, we talk about bitches and stuff, but my realtor caught me so off guard the other day because she was like, what do you do again? I'm like video gaming, like podcasting. She's like, what's the name of it? Which normally, if it's someone I actually know, an adult, I'll be like, I don't really talk about it. But it's like such an awkward, like, I don't want to piss off my realtor. And also, it's like a weird thing to be like, I can't tell you.
No, I just tell them it's anonymous.
I just told her. And I saw her look it up on her phone and then put her phone away. And I don't know if, like, now what if she's watching this?
Yeah. Queued all the episodes up.
Yeah.
She's a great realtor. Yeah. She's really good. I told my loan officer too when I first got in contact because they got all my information. They're like, "Oh, so what do you do?" And I had to like explain the name of it, and she's like, "Why is it called that?" I'm like, "Other guy's got a big forehead." She's like, "Okay, I guess I'll have to check it out. Like, what do you guys talk about?" I'm like, "I don't. Like, don't make me. I want the money for a house. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, I'm like, we just kind of talk about nothing." Yeah. She's like, "Well, like what?" I'm like,
well, go watch the pinned video for people that know us in real life.
One specifically for you. I'd watch that episode, and that's all you gotta watch.
We have a red herring video that's just like, watch this episode if you know us, and it's just us being.
I saw that.
Oh, okay, good,
sweethearts.
Yeah. And then the follow-up episode, we're just filthy again. It's like their grossest episode.
We kind of fell off in that episode, too, pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah, no.
About forgetting
well, I'm hoping the people
that... Christian.
I'm hoping the people that know us in real life wouldn't watch the whole thing, because it does get gross towards the end.
Yeah.
But we were trying to be good boys.
I can't imagine they would.
Yeah.
Try to be good, but born bad.
Do you ever, like, curse and stuff in your videos, Jimmy? Are your
your
videos, like, vulgar or anything in any way?
I mean, I'll say fuck and not censor it like half of YouTube does.
Bad boy.
Like,
okay. You don't do like a crow noise over it?
No, I don't. Yeah. I used to do some bleeps. Like, I used to do that just because I thought there was like comedic value to it. Because I used to, like, you know, growing up watching South Park, they used to bleep things.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of associated.
Is funnier.
Yeah, I associated that to being funny because it was South Park's thing. I haven't done that in a long time though. But I think I get more upset now that like there's all these asterisks. I can't stand these fucking asterisks whenever I'm watching like a short or a title of something. It's like, we know what the word is. Why? Why is it like this?
I hate the replacement of like unalive instead of
that shit sucks
kill
too.
Or suicide.
I don't like that.
There's like a bunch of like second words for it, which is, I think it's awesome because I feel like if you're a linguist or something, or somebody that's like studying language, I feel like language is evolving at such a rapid pace now because of the internet that it would probably be hard to fucking keep up with the amount of like new slang that's coming up daily.
Yeah.
And in that way, it's very cool. But I also just hate like getting, like, I was watching like some historical documentary thing, and they were They were talking about like a historical figure unaliving.
Allies unalived.
Yes. And I was like, what?
And Hitler committed sewer slide.
Exactly. And I was like, what the fuck? Like this, I feel like if there's any time you can talk about human atrocities and how dark we get, it's like in 500 BC, like the very beginnings of us being horrible people, but
yeah.
What do I know? You do have to accommodate to our YouTube overlords. So,
yeah.
Who knows what they're thinking, though? It's all just, I mean, I guess it's case by case, but I feel like there's just a lot of being overly cautious with stuff. It's like, I remember there was a big deal last time they said, like, if you say fuck in the first 30 seconds or something, like it can't be monetized at all. And then there was a big backlash because I remember Critical had covered that, and then they reversed it almost immediately. So I mean, I don't know anything else other than that.
Those were the only times I did bleeps, was when I had a funny bit at the very beginning, and and there was curse words in there.
Can't you be funny without cussing?
No.
Oh, dude, my Christian grandmother loves saying that. She's always said that. Or can you make a good song without cussing or something?
I'm too one-dimensional. I'm like Samuel L. Jackson.
You like creativity.
I have to be vulgar.
Talk like him. We should name this episode Double Murder Suicide Buck Party.
That'll be really good, yeah.
See how much money we rake in. Anti-culture, yeah. Let's rise up against YouTube.
No, I just saw YouTube is talking about loosening their controversial media restrictions. You're able to be a little bit more vulgar now. Huge win. Yeah.
Crass is back.
Crass is back, dude. You can be kind of an asshole. Yep. Insert fart joke. Do they make like a slide whistle, but it's a fart whistle? That would fucking rock.
That would be cool.
Yeah, to just get like a real long one and then bring it back in. That would rule. Yeah. But
I remember how in shock I was the first time. It was actually when we had you on our bank stand-in podcast back in the day. I remember, I don't even remember what the topic was, but I just remember you were very just whatever with whatever you're saying. And I was like in shock. And I was like, are you allowed to say that? Because that was the culture at the time, especially. It was like, you can't say this. You got to censor that. And you were like, I don't give a fuck. I'll just talk about it. It's just a discussion.
I'm sorry.
No,
that was you. That was you in Nine Rains podcast, right?
Yeah.
Do you still have that? Is that still going?
No, we haven't done it in a while.
Oh, shit.
We just both kind of did our own thing.
It's
tough keeping up, man.
It's not for everyone.
It's tough keeping up. It's it's one of the hardest jobs in the world, probably. Dirty jobs.
I've been rewatching some Dirty Jobs, just kind of affirm that this is one of the hardest.
Yeah.
And it completely...
we should have Mike Rowe on to prove that this is a dirty job.
He'd be like, oh, I wish you could smell what I smell.
Yeah.
That would actually be a great guest, Mike Rowe. Yeah. And then just be like, isn't it awful? Isn't it awful? Absolutely horrible.
Isn't this horrible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think you would do this, Mike?
Just make it like the easiest episode for him too. Yeah. If we could do an IRL episode and have him, then we just like pamper him the entire time. We would hire a bunch of fake assistants to like bring us things and be like, I'm sure you're wondering, how do we do it? And they're delivering
scale
us.
Of chimney sweep to crawl space poop extractor. Where would this? In the middle? Yeah. Maybe in the middle.
Yeah.
He is on a lot. I think he has a podcast. I got really into the other day just crawl space encapsulation videos, and I watched him do it. He's like doing, I guess he probably just owns Dirty Jobs, but it wasn't called Dirty Jobs. It was like the Mike Rowe experiment or something. I don't know. He's still just doing Dirty Jobs basically. And it's kind of sad because he's old. He's not, okay, if you want to come on here, Mike, you're not that old. But he's like, aged. Clearly, they're like, crawl in that crawl space. And he's like, and like, I don't know. I just felt kind of bad for him. They have him do a bunch of stuff. I'm like,
dude, I was 25
he could
doing crawl
retire.
Spaces, and I was still going like, it sucks down there, dude.
Oh, watching that video, I've got a new appreciation for the people I'll hire one day to do all that stuff because it looked terrible.
Yeah,
and And they were like, yeah, most of the time, a lot of snakes, a lot of spiders, a lot of trash, stinks.
Yep.
It's like you can get ones where you just have to literally crawl the entire time.
Yep.
Like, this is not making fun of him, but I'm like trying to actively go after a house currently, and an inspector go out there. I don't know if it's going to all go through or not. We'll see, but they sent a very portly man. And I knew it was a very tiny crawl space, and I was immediately like, and he got stuck in it, and I had to help him get out. Which
what?
Yeah, I felt bad, but also it's part of the job, you know. I called Sam after and said, "What do I do? This guy's so fat, and he's crawling around," and I felt really bad. And when he went on the ladder to get on the roof, I've never been more scared, because one, for the future gutters I could have, and two, for the roof I could have, and three, like, he just really seemed like a guy that'd fall and splat on the concrete and like change my life forever.
Yeah.
But he was actually pretty nimble, so I'll give him that. He was a great inspector, I think.
You think?
That's
he
what
was a great inspector.
That's what I used to do for a living way before YouTube.
Oh, so I guess you're supposed to be fat when you do it then, huh?
No, believe it or not, I was the small guy. I worked in my family inspection business, and my uncle was too fat to be like an inspector anymore, and so he couldn't get up on the roofs and couldn't get under the house or in the attics.
Seems like a very physical job.
I know. How does he do it? Well, I figured out how he did it. He'd go to Long John Silver's and eat a shitload of fried fish sandwiches every day. And then,
I'll do it.
Dude, I'd be so pissed off when it was like we would do our inspection for the day, and I just wanted to get home, and I was already making YouTube videos, but not enough money to like support myself.
Quit.
Yeah. And so we would be finished with the inspection. I would be ready to get home, and I'm like, when I get home, I'm gonna hit the ground running. I'm gonna work on this, and this. And he would be like, "Hey, before we clock out, why don't we go down to Long John Silver's? Go in there and get some fish sandwiches."
Oh.
No! He's like, "It's right here." I'm like, "No, dude, no." We'd go in there with all those fucking flies going around. But anyways, I have spent so much time under houses and in attics. That job fucking sucks. That is the worst job in the world.
Yeah. It genuinely made me not like, I'm not going to act any different, but it made me feel more grateful for how incredibly easy and unreal this job is.
Yeah.
When you see someone,
when you actually doing
work.
Yeah, work.
Yeah.
Not only that, but that's not the worst part of his day, because if he
complaining.
finds something horrible, then he turns around and has to basically get into an argument with the builder of the house, or you end up getting in fights with like the realtor. Realtors suck. They're horrible people.
I felt bad because, my realtor even said to him, like, "Nice to meet you." And he was kind of had an awkward, like, "Oh, I know you, like, good to see you again." So he didn't even remember him. And I'm also pretty convinced she was calling him the wrong name almost the entire time. So, and he just didn't correct her. And then apparently they met before. So tough day for that guy. I didn't mean to call you fat. You're not. Obviously, he got out. So
he got out.
Another 100 years of inspecting for you. I think you're incredible. I was being an asshole because of my golden heart. Actually, I was setting expectation as a guy that makes fun of people doing a hard job that are too fat.
Have you ever accidentally complained about this job before? Like
we intentionally complain.
Intentionally, okay.
Yeah. You would not believe like how used to whatever you're doing you get. I've said this before to Poob, but like I don't have to go anywhere ever, and so I just
you sold your car.
I turned into like a hermit. I don't even go outside. And I remember like a couple years ago, I used to have to. Abby would get up, she would go to work and bring the kids to the daycare, and then at the end of the day, she would get off work too late. And so I would have to go and pick up the kids from daycare. And I remember just like white knuckling my steering wheel on the way to the daycare because I'm like, I don't want to fucking leave. Like going down here takes so much fucking time. So annoying. It was a 5-minute drive. The daycare was literally inside my neighborhood. I just went down my road, took a right. I could listen to one song. I remember I would listen to like Kashmir by Led Zeppelin, and by the time it was at the third act, I would just be pulling into the driveway. Like it wasn't even a far drive, and I'd be screaming. And now that I've said that, all of our trucker audience is going like, I'm unsubbing. I'm taking auto pay off the Patreon.
Guys.
Okay, guys, I respect the long haul truckers, and I'm gonna say right here and now, I'm not built like you guys. I can't do what you do. Okay, that's what makes me respect you so much. You know, like the same way I look at the long haul truckers is the same way you guys probably look at like people that climb Mount Everest. Okay, like I can't sit behind the wheel that long. I get cranky. And so yeah, I complain about stuff like that. Like, oh, I got to go out in the sun for like 5 seconds.
In Florida?
I
gotta go.
My pits will get sweaty.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I think we're pretty grateful. We donate a lot of our money back to the audience and charities and stuff, and I think we have an air of gratefulness.
I think so. Yeah.
What do you mean you give it back to the audience?
We do giveaways.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is that why people are subbed to you guys on Patreon?
Yeah, we do a bunch of giveaways. Yeah, we did some posters.
It's all going to come out in the heist video.
Oh, yeah.
The heist video is when that's released, we're going to be giving back so much money to the audience when that gets released.
Yeah, we've been haven't spent a penny of the money for the podcast at all. We've been stockpiling it, just waiting to give it back.
We've been putting it in individual Roth IRAs for the audience members, for the patrons.
And now think of this, guys. Think of this podcast like your Social Security. You know, like this is your second safety net. When it all falls apart, we haven't spent a penny of your money. We've been saving it up.
Yeah. Laughter's medicine. You don't have health care.
And
it's more expensive than $5. So pay for $5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you complain about your job, Jimmy?
No. I mean, not.
Did you have a job before?
Yeah, I did 3 years of working on the strip at the pools. That sucked.
Oh, yeah.
Like
it's Vegas
or
outside.
Lifeguard or what?
Yeah, lifeguard and pool manager and pool attendant.
No offense, but like, let's say like a big fat guy like me starts drowning. Like, no offense, you're like 5'2". How are you going to drag me out of the fucking? You're harpoon me.
Well, luckily,
crank me up to the side.
No, the biggest risk would be you diving in because it was 3.5 feet deep max at all the resorts.
So it's like neck high for you. No,
yeah, that's neck high for me.
Yeah. Did you get like a big shepherd's hook or something to pull people out? Or, no, nothing.
No.
Did you have to jump in a lot?
Never.
I was a lifeguard for
people walked in and were like, yeah, I got to take care of myself, dude. This guy's not gonna be able to pull me out.
Yeah.
I never had to jump in, and I was always waiting. Because every lifeguard I work with is like, after the first save, your nerves actually go way down. And I never had that. And I was nervous the entire goddamn time because I could never. I've talked about this on the podcast before. My friend literally jumping in all the time. Like, we're working the same job, but I'd always be on the slide miraculously when the people, would hit the bottom of the slide and go upside down, old people. But he like not only gave someone CPR once, he used the goddamn defibrillator.
Oh my God.
As a lifeguard and brought someone back to life. He was a hero. And I didn't even jump in for one old person or one kid the entire time. I had a couple close calls where I go, I'll give them a couple more minutes, see if they even out. And they
would usually float to the surface eventually. And you knew they were okay.
Now I don't have to get wet. I didn't like getting wet, so. Because then all my makeup would come off, and then I'd always wear like just regular clothes, some trunks.
Yeah, no, this job's way better than lifeguarding.
Yeah,
it's way cooler than that.
I'm sure we had totally different experiences too, because I worked at a couple small town pools where like you'd go 4 hours and not one person would come in, and that was like psychologically boring.
Oh yeah,
because also they're like you can't read a book, you can't be on your phone just in case. So you just sit there and just kind of watch water for like 4 hours.
Yeah. There was quite a few days like that. It was not fun. It was.
Yeah, but you get a constant cycle of people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We were never stuck there for more than like 30 minutes to an hour at one thing.
Yeah.
It's usually, it's just people watching all day because it's just,
Checking
people
out
from
babes.
Yeah. Everyone from everywhere.
Yeah.
I never had a hot person at my pool. Not once.
When I worked at the Luxor, there was actually this weekly gay party called Temptation Sunday that I used to have to lifeguard. I just have to watch dudes with like banana hammocks all day.
And that's on Sunday?
Every Sunday, yeah. Temptation Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
That's what, I don't know if it's still around, but I mean,
I'll make sure not to be there that day.
Yeah, don't go there that day.
Yeah. And it's all day.
And Luxor's the big pyramid,
big
right?
pyramid, right?
I'll be able to find that.
Yeah, you'll find it.
Yeah.
It's all day.
Big light from the top. Probably around there, yeah. Around all day.
And what would they do there?
A lot of cool stuff, man.
Yeah. Did you ever have to like
camaraderie?
Okay.
Jump in.
Did you ever have to go like, get your penis out of that guy's mouth or anything? You ever have to yell at anybody? Tell them to behave themselves?
Not exactly penis and mouth, but yeah, definitely a few times had to tell them to stop doing what
Sir,
they were
get
doing.
your ass off the pool jet. I can tell you
no running, train.
There was a lot of
there
was a lot of jacuzzi hand jobs that we had to like say, hey, we can like.
That's awesome.
We're elevated. We can see.
Yeah. You're doing it wrong.
You're doing. Yeah. That was great. It was good times.
Sir, for that thing, you're gonna want to use two hands. I'm telling you right now.
Who was that guy that they went on like a vacation to an island and it turned out to be like Bear Week and the guy was there with his family? It was someone we knew, Poob.
Oh,
and yeah,
really?
and he's like, I went there on a family vacation.
Accidentally went.
No, he went there with his
Bear
family
Island.
and like his dad was like a big hairy guy and the whole time his dad was getting his ass grabbed by all these big gay guys. And because they thought he was a bear and he's just like, I'm here with my family. And they're like, okay, okay. But it was like some Bear Island party.
That's awesome. Yeah. That would suck if you were going there for babes or chicks. But
just a bunch of fat hairy guys.
Hairy
what
dudes.
The hell?
Yeah.
This place sucks.
Oh, this bear brought its cubs. Very interesting. I don't know. I've never accidentally gone to like Gay Island or anything. I heard your mayor there though.
Oh shit! Shit. Hey, wait, if you worked at the Luxor, did you go to Carrot Top's
never
show?
Once, no.
You never went to Carrot Top's
I really
show?
wanted to go to Carrot Top. I can't believe I didn't.
Every time I think of Carrot Top, I just think of the Norm Macdonald clip on Conan when he calls him box office poison.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I think about every time I think of that.
A classic.
Chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board, yeah. BORED.
Yeah.
It's a good clip.
That is an awesome clip.
Everyone in Vegas, like locals, don't really understand why Carrot Top is here still. Like no one knows.
I guess you need to see him.
What's going on?
Even people that are in stand-up comedy don't know why he's still around. He's an anomaly where he's like,
yeah, he is.
He's kind of been made fun of, but then at the same time, he's had that residency at the Luxor for some reason, and then now he's like one of the highest paid comedians of all time ever. And I'm like, name one Carrot Top joke. And everybody's like, I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea. Like, there's not a single one that I can think of. I went and saw a show while I was there and was not blown away by it, but it was loud. It was loud.
You're so lucky.
The entire time it was loud, but really can't remember like a single joke.
Wasn't there something with a suitcase? Didn't he bring a suitcase of
I think that's his whole thing. Like, I think that's all it is.
The entire stage is covered with crates and crates of props. And then he just opens them and grabs something out.
He's a genius. Yeah. And then do you think he just improvs like, oh, with the rubber chicken? Squeak, squeak.
I think so. And like some of them were funny because it was like references to like something that happened in 2004. And I'm like, I don't think anybody knows vaguely what you're even fucking talking about. But yeah, he's I did have a piece of confetti from his show that I had up on a cork board, and I think it's gone now. My daughter ripped it down, but that was my little Carrot Top confetti. I think I had just seen Carrot Top when you gave me a ride.
Had you?
I think so, yeah.
That's why you were in a bad mood.
Yeah. I was in a bad mood? I think so,
yeah. You were pissy. That makes sense.
I was pissy? Shit.
No, you were.
Sounds right.
You were pissy. You're very jolly.
Yeah.
Per usual.
Yeah.
You're a very jolly guy.
Yeah. The only thing he's missing is being green, but these got the other part of it, right? giant or something. I don't know.
Is that a reverse short joke? Jesus Christ, dude! You gotta make this dude cry.
I'm talking about you.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's actually really jovial in person most of the time.
Unless I get cranky or angry.
Yeah, unless he's tired. Yeah,
if I do get kind of legitimately. If I get sweaty, if it's like hot outside and there's no shade, I get kind of cranky. Okay.
Incredibly impatient.
Yeah, that's when I get cranky. Yeah. Am I impatient? Oh fuck.
When you're cranky, which is normal.
That's true.
I get hangry.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, when I'm a little hungry, I can definitely get a little cranky. I can start making passive comments about like, boy, I sure could eat soon. Stuff like that.
Passive comments.
Oh boy, it'd be awesome if we stopped. Nope. Okay. I can get a little feisty. The claws come out.
That's a good dynamic to have with me because I don't pick up on subtle things like that at all. I'm like, oh, cool. He wishes he had like a sandwich or whatever.
I wish he could have one too.
Yeah, I wish that for you, buddy. That seems awesome to have a sandwich right now. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm more of like a direct communication type guy. I don't listen to subtext or subtleties or what have yous. Yeah,
that's good. I mean, I don't know. I envy that.
Yeah,
in a way.
Did you guys know you can kill yourself from turning your neck? Like if you look to the left, you can or the right, like you can have it's called an aortic dissection. And there's people that have died from just turning their fucking head.
I've always wondered that.
Gotten some kinks.
Yeah. You can just like fucking sever a vein doing that.
Is that like how people snap someone's neck just from getting?
No, I think that's just from brute strength. But I just saw that like I was freaking out because a couple of days ago I had like this tremendous weight on my chest where I felt like I was getting crushed to death and I was freaking out and my left arm wouldn't work. And then I was like, I looked it up, like what's going on here, and I started having like major fears of death. And then at the same time, I was like, I'm gonna go to YouTube Shorts and try to calm myself down. And the first short that popped up was this guy like, this 14-year-old boy turned his head and completely killed himself just from looking to the left. And that could happen. And then I was like, holy shit. And then in the comments, there was someone that was like, my mom was perfectly fine for like 45 years. And then she just had an embolism. Your body can kill you at any moment. And I was like, oh, okay, this makes me feel a lot better. Yeah. It turned out I
having the chest compressions. You're probably going to pop. Oh, God.
No, I think I had just smoked way too much and was freaking out. I think that's what it was. It was a panic attack. Yeah.
I had it's a bad combo. I don't know if you still have like your Apple Watch or whatever. When I first got one, I'd smoke and then my Apple Watch would be like, your heart rate's too high. And I'd be like, what do you mean? Yeah. And then that just like exacerbates it. Yeah. And then it was always really scary. I've actually kind of completely stopped smoking the last couple months because, oh boy, do I love it, when I'm watching a movie or something. But I started to get, it was like 1 out of every 4 times I'd be like, yeah, I'm probably going to die. And I did not really love that dread I kept feeling.
Oh, that sense of dread, though, it makes you feel alive, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you get through it, you're like, oh yeah, I win.
Because it's like a way for someone it's like a way, like if you're accomplishing nothing in a day, like it makes it seem like you've done something. It's like, I almost died today. Yeah. I'm here, dude. I made it through it. And all you were doing was sitting on your couch freaking out.
Yeah. I hit manual breathing way too often where I'd just be like, oh, I can't breathe. I'm unable to breathe. And that was you walk by your roommates and you're like, I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to freak them out.
No, you just give them a silent scream for help with a glance and then keep going. Yeah.
I can't. It's been a little disappointing quitting. I haven't quit. Okay, I'm not a quitter. I'll get back to being a total stoner, guys. Don't worry. But yeah, I've just been not drinking or smoking as much, and I thought it'd make me feel like more awake and clear. I feel a little more clear-headed, but it didn't. I really thought that was what was making me lazy, but it turns out that there might be a deeper root. And also why I just still feel tired all the time. So maybe it's something else.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can I be right back real quick, we think?
Yeah.
Cool. Be right back.
You know, I get the feel. Yeah, I get the feeling he doesn't smoke or drink or anything. Look how industrious he is. We start talking about it, he goes and runs off to go do something.
That was like me as a kid. My friends would bring weed over in like 8th grade, and I'd be like, "Well, guys, it's time for me to go. Yeah. I cannot be here if you were going to be smoking weed." There was
a long time where I was just like, I like breathing air. Okay, and my lung when I breathe, if I'm over a campfire and I breathe in smoke, it makes me. And I honestly, I still 100% have that mentality with cigarettes. I breathe in cigarette smoke, and I'm like, my body is rejecting this in a massive way.
My body's a temple, real wide at the bottom to a big, tall point.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And
I can't let cigarette smoke kill that.
I don't want cigarette smoke to fuck it up. And I need to keep my lungs nice and healthy so I can breathe in between the big, massive bites of food I take.
Yeah.
I don't want to... If I have low lung function, I take a big bite of a triple meat, triple cheese from Whataburger, and then I can't breathe in between while I'm chewing it, I might die. You know, so it's good that I keep the lungs healthy.
Could have an embolism.
Yeah.
It could happen to
anyone.
anyone.
Or a car could drive by and I could look at it really quick, and that would be awesome if when I did that, it killed me. Like when I looked to the left, you just saw blood come up out of my eyes and out of my ears, and I died. Which I assume is how it works. But
one of those goddamn party cruises is going to turn into a ghost ship situation one day. They're like, everybody wail on the left side. 500 dead.
Yeah.
Or if you did the Cupid shuffle or something. That does scare me. I mean, I try to kind of turn my whole body a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So. Not for any real reason. Yeah, that was actually very interesting what we just talked about.
That was probably the most interesting part of the show, I think.
Yeah. I don't want to know about it.
Are you back? Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Yeah. Are you okay?
I hope, man. I really hope.
Was it serious, whatever dragged you away from this show?
Yeah.
Because this is kind of like a big deal for you, I would think. This might be your make it or break it moment, is being on the show.
For your guys' sake, I hope it is.
And then if you walk away from it, it has to be something pretty important.
It was very important. Don't worry about it. Are we still talking about weed?
Never leave.
Is that what we're talking about?
You seem like you wanted to jump in pretty hard on the weed talk, and so we were going to let you have
get up.
You wanted to have your moment, your weed moment.
Well, no, I just realized there's a lot of people. I've talked to so many people in the last 2 years where they used to, myself included, they used to smoke all the time, like a daily occurrence, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, it just turned into anxiety and panic attacks, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the number one reason people quit. I feel like
it absolutely
one time where they're like,
you don't like the screaming inside your mind. You know,
no, not at all.
No?
I don't like when I don't like the frames that happen. Like when you're looking around and it looks like you're lagging in real life. That shit freaks me out like hard. Like I'll.
You strike me as an anxious person.
I am absolutely. Okay. Yeah. It keeps me alive though. Probably.
True. That's survival instinct.
It is.
I feel like it is. Yeah. That actually is
very healthy.
It probably is pretty healthy. I was thinking about that. If you yank away society and everything, and we're back on the plains hunting for food, a person with anxiety, I bet you would probably live a lot longer than, like me a couple years ago. Before I had any sort of anxiety, I'd probably just get torn apart because I'd be like, no internal gut feeling or anything. I didn't have like gut instinct. And now like I've had moments where I'm like in a parking lot and I go, someone could hit me over the head with a brick right now. Like I need to get to the
lock the doors, off the windows.
Yeah. I think it's also part of having like something that you care about. Like I'm there with my kids.
To live for.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want anybody to take them. And so you become more world weary and scared.
When I was less caring if I lived or died a couple of years ago, I'd get on a plane and just go, fuck it. This thing's going down. And that's okay. I lived a good life. And now I'm, I'd say, happier. I'm like, I would actually really put a kink in my plans.
Yeah.
If this entire plane exploded. And now I'm like more scared of stuff that I used to not be. I imagine that gets worse when you have children in a home and stuff like that, because I don't want my home, I just went through this whole process. I don't want to die.
Well, if you die, you really don't have to worry about your house anymore, if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah.
I'd be worried about, like, what if somebody, flipped it or something.
You wouldn't be worried about anything. That's the cool part.
The brain can stay on, I've heard, for a couple minutes.
Just for a couple minutes.
As soon as you die, a guy comes in. All right, vinyl plank through here, gray walls.
Shiplap.
Yep, shiplap.
Okay, gray.
Bring Chip and Joanna Gaines in here. We're fucking this place up.
Cover up those hardwoods with some college apartment carpet.
Indoor-outdoor carpet. Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead and nail it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that body on the floorboards, and then my soul would rest there forever. Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts, Jimmy?
I don't think so.
Bill. Oh wait, you said no. I guess that wouldn't scare you then.
What about like?
I saw
What
you
about
guys
like
had
an
a ghost guy
afterlife?
on recently, didn't you?
An
afterlife?
yeah.
Are we talking about the afterlife?
Yeah. Do you believe in like?
We ask every guest.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay, that would explain the no ghost thing then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of. Yeah, they feel like.
So you just die and then go like dirt, like into the dirt.
I guess so. I don't know. I'm more on the
Does
I
that
don't
make you
know
anxious?
section. Oh, I mean, yeah, I think any human can get anxious if they think about that for more than 5 minutes.
Would you feel more comfort in when you die, they take your body and launch it into the sun to be completely eviscerated, or if they buried you into the dirt so that your body can return to the earth?
Or they bury you into the dirt in a non-biodegradable box, so you're always in that box.
Yeah, so you just turn into soup inside of a box in the earth. Or launched out into space just to float amongst the stars, never running into the sun. If those
definitely
four
evaporated.
Options, you want to be evaporated?
Definitely, one way or another. It doesn't matter if it's here or in the sun. I don't care. It's just I don't want any
This guy
chance.
would love Dr. Manhattan.
I don't want any chance of me like waking up or some shit of
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like getting launched into the sun is selfish because you're depriving the earth of all the nutrients it took to make you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the amount of like the carcasses.
It'll be fine though. It doesn't need me.
The amount of fucking chickens that I've single-handedly had to have killed in order to make all my chicken sandwiches that I've eaten over my life. I feel like I at least owe the earth my fat body to like reabsorb me, and
that's why I poop in the ground.
Yeah.
I poop in holes in the ground.
Nice.
That's noble. That's noble of you.
And if I feel like I'm going to throw up, I go out
into your garden,
dig a little hole.
and you find an anthill, and you go, I will feed you, my little babies. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think I would like to, they've got those ones where they can put like a tree seed in your belly or something. You grow into a tree.
Do they have that?
That could be cool.
My last act is I'm going to eat a big pumpkin seed, and my body is going to turn into a big pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know I brought this up on the show too, but they have like a big, like a psilocybin, not psilocybin. It's like a big mushroom spore casket pod that they put your body into, and then you end up like being eaten by the fungus and
joining the hive,
and redistributed out into the ground after you go.
Sounds like a nightmare. That's
really
crazy.
You think? Yeah, I feel like that's a great way to break you down and spread you out.
Why do I need to be spread out?
To grow trees and such. To provide.
I'm not going to grow trees.
Well,
they won't grow. They'll grow an azalea bush.
I don't even like mushrooms.
I don't know.
I'm not going to fucking make more of them.
You're not going to make more mushrooms?
I don't want any more mushrooms. I would be so unfazed if every form of mushroom just disappeared. I don't care about
them. Just never had a morel fried.
What the hell? Okay.
I don't like mushrooms.
You don't like mushrooms?
No, not at all.
They play a pretty
chicken in the
woods.
They're like
not quite plants, not quite animals. They're like the coolest form of life on this planet.
I don't think they're the coolest form of life.
They all look like penises. They're fucking awesome. What are you talking about?
I don't know. They never intrigued me. Never intrigued me.
Really?
Maybe I just haven't found the right mushroom. I don't know.
I don't like portobellos.
Poop, don't ever bring your fucking friend on this show again. I can see why we buried the last one, dude.
I told you.
Yeah.
What the hell? This guy doesn't like mushrooms?
I mean, I don't like most mushrooms, so if you're gonna have to go through me first if you want to get rid of him. Because I don't like most of them.
Well, most of them kill you.
Them.
There's honestly like one mushroom that we eat.
The edible ones. No, I like, what are they? Chanterelles or something, and morels. If you fry those up and put some stuff on them, I don't know.
But like if you go to the grocery store, I think they're all like one type of mushroom. Most of them.
Yeah, like portobello or something. I don't fuck with those really.
I mean, that's kind of just what I think about when I think of mushrooms. It's just that one type. I don't know.
Yeah, see, there's there's some other
I know there's
ones,
other ones. I just haven't given them a thought. Like, I just don't care about them.
They almost taste like fish.
Have you ever had like
a fish fry?
Psilocybin mushrooms, like magic mushrooms? No?
No, that'd be the easiest fast track to a panic attack, I think, for me.
Or ego death.
Yeah.
And you could cure all your panic attacks forever.
One or the
if
other.
You do enough. Yeah.
I'm not going to bank on that happening, though. I think it's more likely for the first one.
Yeah, last time I did them with Sam and Bizzle and Brian, I had a pretty horrifying experience, so I think I'm probably good. I'm probably done.
Yeah. It was
a great final hurrah. I was actually really enjoying it till Sam turned into some sort of witch. And Bizzle kept saying I was in charge all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I realized, like, how far is the hospital? Oh, okay. Like, really far?
We were out in the middle of the woods, dude.
Yeah. Why is that everyone's destination for him? What's the reason for that? Like, genuinely, like,
nature.
It's just the nature thing?
So. Nature, and there's a sense of, like, you can't... I feel like if you're out there all alone, like, you're going to get up to some hijinks, and you don't want to just, like, walk out of your house naked or something in front of your neighbors. But if you're out there in the woods, then you can do all the weird shit you want to do. And
oh, dude, when we turned the cameras off and we just all started fucking crazy, that was awesome.
That was just
like porking each other.
That was pretty cool. Although I will say, before my mushroom adventure with them, I had never had anxiety in my life, and then suspiciously after that, I started having anxiety.
So discovered something about yourself.
Yeah,
I think I
unlocked it. I see something.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Horrible
Yeah,
anxiety.
it was the first time I had gone in third person mode and saw what I was piloting, and I said, "Oh boy, I don't like this."
Can we get a different angle on this? If it looks like that from the back, baby, I bet you can see it from the front. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, he looks so good from the back. That's why I took my pants off at one point. I was seeing it. I was in third person from behind. I'm like, I gotta get a look. I gotta get a little closer. Yeah. It is. Yeah. It's so hit or miss for me historically that I don't think the hits have outweighed. I think really what it comes down to for like a lot of that stuff, weed, mushrooms, it's like the coolest thing is experiencing something out of the mundane. And if you're like in a stuck point in your life where it's like everything's so boring and whatever, like it can be a really cool, like, wow, I've never felt that before. But then sometimes, you have one where I had one where I thought my roommate was going to kill me because I had locked myself in my room watching, just nature stuff. I was in a shitty college apartment. I actually cried watching a Planet Earth about, I think it was harpy eagles, because I'm like, that's my favorite bird. And then I watched it during like college, and it was like, the baby eagle needs to leave the nest and the parents have to watch. I'm like, I'm the baby eagle. Like, I got to grow up. And then I went downstairs and I heard like a noise. It sounded like throw up. And I walked by my roommate as he came out of the bathroom, and I could have sworn in my head, I've told this story a million times, but I was like, did you just throw up? Or like, are you okay? And then my roommate just looked at me and walked away and went to his room. And in my head, I was like, why is he ignoring me? Like, what was that noise? Like, what is, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I think he was eating something out of the toilet. And then he just ignored me and he caught me. Like, he's going to kill me. And so I just went in my room and locked the door and laid on my bed, just like, oh. That one was pretty scary because I was completely like on another planet. I'm glad I didn't have a gun. I would have broken his room.
And
I'm going to get you before you get
defensive killing.
Yeah. I probably didn't speak out loud. Yeah, that's the crazy thing, too. I think I just spoke in my head and was like, are walked you okay? Up to him and just... Yeah, I don't think I told him beforehand what I was doing. He probably just pissed and walked out of the bathroom, and I was like... And then I burst into his room, kicked the door down, mag dumped on him. Yeah, I don't really want that anymore. No. I don't want to kill my roommates or anything. Sound nice. So. No. It's cool though.
It sounds very cool.
Yeah. That feeling of just like I'm not on the same plane of existence I was an hour ago.
Yeah.
It's very unique.
Yeah.
I definitely like have my kids try it and stuff. So,
very
like how young?
Like as soon as they have ego, kill that ego right away.
Like a 10-year-old, give a 10-year-old mushrooms.
I mean, I might again when I'm like 80. If I get like real old, I'll probably just be looking for
anything to do. Yeah,
sensation.
Every time I visit my grandma, she's like bedridden now. I just go, "Here's an edible." She's like, "Thank you for anything beyond bed."
Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. No, that shit rocks.
At that point,
I think it's like a time and place type thing. The people that just take them like every week, something's wrong with you. something's wrong.
You can start to notice it in the way they speak.
Yeah.
I've got a couple fried out friends that are just like, "Hey, man." I'm like, "Whoa, gee, woof." Okay, buddy, maybe slow down a little bit. You're scaring me. Yeah, I think that would be really sad as a parent. I feel like to have just like a total brain burnt kid.
Yeah.
If my kid's ever like, "I want to go to like EDM," I'd be like, I don't know.
EDM.
Slippery slope. Like an EDM show.
Oh, like EDC in Vegas, like that fucking huge
or like Electric Forest or whatever. Like, how many whippets? You can do like 4.
Yeah.
No more. You can have like a little bit of Molly.
I had a neighbor who had some kids that had like a teenage boy that they had found whippets in his room, and they were like, "What are these for?" And he's just
whipped cream.
No, he was like, he rode his bike to school and to his friend's house and stuff. He's like, "It's so that like I can when I'm out, if my tire's low, I can use this to like quickly fill up my tire and not have to carry around a bike pump." And she wasn't the mom wasn't born yesterday.
Yeah, I'd almost believe that. If I had never seen a whippet, I'd be like, very ingenuitive.
Well, she was telling me the story, and then I went and then talked to the kid. I was like, "You thought that would fucking work?" Because I'm like an awesome middle ground where like the mom's in her mid 40s, I'm in my mid 30s, and then he is like, I'm like the generational gap in between them.
Yeah.
And so I'm talking to him. I'm like, "You thought she would fall for that?" He's like, "She made me go out into the garage and she was like, prove to me how it works." And so he was like trying to use a whippet to fill up his bike tire, and he busted it open, and then like all the air came out and it burnt his hand. It like burned his fucking fingertips. And he's like, "Oh," he's like, "Mom, you did this to me. Why don't you just believe me?" And she's like, "You're full of shit, dude. I just know you're full of shit." It just reminded me so much of that kid that yeah, what is this?
It's an Xbox. It's supposed to be an Xbox.
I thought it was an Xbox remote. I mean, an Xbox controller. Yeah.
You ever seen that video, Jimmy?
That's such a classic.
I don't think so.
A kid like orders a bong to his house, and his mom opens it up, and she's like, "What the hell is this?" And he's like, "It was supposed to be an Xbox remote. I think it's like a vase or something. I think you like put flowers in it." And she clearly knows.
She's
what
like,
it is.
"I'm not that old." Yeah, she's like, yeah. It's definitely a fucking bong.
Yeah, for our generation, I'll be like, "Yeah, this is crack cocaine." I can tell, kid. Like anything we've done, they'll just be like, "You can't trick us."
Yeah, I can't wait until if my daughters find or like have drugs in their room, I'm just gonna take it in front of them. I'm gonna hunt it down like a bloodhound.
Do you think this makes you cool? Yeah. Watch me.
Watch
do
your
all
lame
this.
dad do it. Fuck you.
Fint leaning in the. Now put me on a hoverboard. You think this is cool? Oh shit, this is kind of cool. Wait, hold up.
Yeah, go in there, fit lean in her room, and then I'm there the next day going,
You got more?
Do you have more?
All right, I'm doing a room search. Where the fuck is it?
Where's my fucking fix? If you don't have more in this room by tomorrow, it's over for you. The kid was apparently, by the way, hiding whippets like up in his curtain rod. Like he had them like hidden all over the place. So I'm really gonna have to deassemble my kid's room in the future to find all their Fint. Because whippets are like this big round.
Yeah.
Fint, it takes, but I've seen all those videos where they're like, the tip of a pencil with a Fint can kill you. I'm gonna have to.
I'll be licking the dust off the fan blades and everything. That could be scattered anywhere.
Cleaning that place out. Yeah.
I'm not leaning yet. Where is it? Yeah. I'd probably fucking kill my kid if they withheld my Fent from me. I'm assuming it would feel really good and you get it hooked on it pretty quick.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Yeah. Oh wait, actually, hold on. This is a good time to do a little.
Yeah, this is relevant.
Yeah, I do have something relevant before we end this one. I've been talking a lot, Jimmy, about doing ether. Do you know what ether is? Yeah. It's like it's like old timey, like 1800s doctors would have like a rag with ether, and they would go, and they'd sniff it and get high. And
I mean, I think I've probably seen that in
movies,
some sort of movie. Yeah,
yeah. Where's that? Where the hell did my thing go? I thought I had it.
You saved it as a PDF.
Oh yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, this guy Babexter wrote in. He says, "Hey Sam, I know this isn't your usual type of email. I know you are currently chasing soma, an altered state of consciousness, and I was there too once. And I know it is all too riveting to simply tap the glass of someone who is that guy." I don't know what the fuck that means. Anyways, I'm here to answer any questions you might have about the lifestyle. You know, you became a successful YouTuber, and I became a not successful drug addict who is currently in recovery. Yes, I do miss heroin every single day. It is the most beautiful experience I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing. It's like being hugged by a person who loves you unconditionally for the perfect amount of time. And I've tried ether too in my days, mostly huffing it, but a little bit of drinking it too. No, now, whilst it's no heroin, it definitely has its merits. Soaking some into a rag and then inhaling it creates a distinct dissociative effect. Time slows down quite a bit, and your voice will suddenly feel mentholated and fresh, which is weird because during that documentary, like I watched about the Romanian ether junkies, they were in like this bombed out, decrepit like town center. And they were like, back in the 1950s, we used to do ether in here all the time. The place stunk to high heaven. And they're like standing in like, it's a ruined place. It hasn't been occupied in like 40 years. And they're like, you can still smell the ether on the walls. Smells like jet fuel. And so this guy's like,
but it tastes good to you, the user.
Yeah, this guy's like, it makes you feel fresh and delicious. Anyways, I've tried drugs that don't even show up when you look them up on Google, like 2-CMC. I don't know what that is either. But like I say, I've had my fun. I'm trying to get clean. And I actually only really just discovered your podcast. And hearing you and Poob naively talk about heroin, saying things like, do you miss it? Because yes, I do. And then hearing you joke about huffing ether took me way back to my glory days. Anyways, I love you, you silly son of a bitch. Isn't that nice? It is good to
fuck
hear.
That guy's life up again.
I know, dude. Hey, Babexter, do you miss it? It sounds like you missed it, dude. A big hug, an unconditional love hug for the perfect amount of time from the person you love the most.
Come so far, Dexter. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it, dude.
All right, Stalt, now edit little angel wings on me and little devil horns on Sam. And
then no, I don't want him to go back to it. But Baxter, I don't want you to ever get hugged by unconditionally love or whatever you said opioids were.
For the perfect amount of time, which is important because sometimes a hug is
too long.
For me, too short. I knew you were going to say too long.
No, actually, I like hugging people, and then I go, "Ooh, I've held that too long." And I know, like, right after the second I've done it, that it's been too long of a hug, and I should have let it go 30 seconds ago.
Next time we touch, no such thing.
Okay. I'm writing that down. Long.
Jimmy, you seem like a short hugger.
A short hugger? Is that a height thing, or is that?
No, I swear to God, that was not supposed to be a height thing. I meant like, you seem like if I hugged you, you'd count to 2.
and then let go.
I don't think I've ever counted. I think I could. I've never.
No, I liked hugging Jimmy because when I hugged him, I mushed his face right into my belly button. I made him blow little raspberries into my belly.
It's like I was a kid again.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm writing this down. Long hug with Poob at Luxor on Sunday. Okay. But it is awesome to just see someone have like a firsthand account of ether usage in the great year of 2025. It seems like a bygone era of drug usage.
In our audience.
Yeah.
What a privilege.
What a privilege. Yeah. So hats off to any ether users out there. You guys keep doing your thing.
A dying breed.
Dying breed.
Literally.
Old timey.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally probably also
probably dying
good for you.
Yeah.
But,
I wag my finger at the opioid use. I don't agree with that. That stuff's bad for you. But ether, that stuff's like if it's good enough to make jets run, it's good enough to make a human run good too. That's the long and the short of it. So, anyways, Jimmy,
you stink like a jet.
The hug is not real. Just remember that. That's what you have to tell yourself.
Yeah,
it's
true.
a fake
like your
hug.
favorite,
real loved one.
It's like your fucking anime girl. It's not real. Remember that as you make that decision.
I don't like that. I don't like that negative twist on the end of that. The anime girl's real, and she loves me.
I don't disagree with that. But we tell ourselves that when we're in dire situations.
Yeah.
So the hug's not real.
And if you keep chasing that hug, you'll never hug a real loved one again because you won't be here.
That's right. Very good, Poop.
He says the opiates are better than a hug from, like, why would you even need loved ones?
What would you rather want? One really perfect hug or like 50
opiates?
Just pretty good hugs. No. Like one, you could die.
Like one,
so it's like,
one person that you love that hugs really good, or like 50 opiates that hug perfectly every time and on your time schedule.
That are just kind of like acquaintances.
Well, that's the tricky part with them because he got that perfect hug and then he never got it again. That's the part that he didn't include.
Oh, okay.
Is that first time ever that was the perfect hug?
You sound like you've done these before. Have you done opiates?
I don't want to bring the mood down, but I lost family member to this exact thing, and it's fucking brutal, dude. Yeah, it's brutal.
Is the first? So they say the first time using it is the best, and then you're chasing that
You're
after?
Constantly
it's the chasing the dragon.
Yeah, you're chasing. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's like,
that's why I've heard don't have sex on ecstasy because it's like you'll never have sex that good ever again.
Yeah, it's just how it goes. It's
never take the condom off because then then it feels worse. I don't know. I've never had sex, but
I feel like that could be like an Immortan Joe speech where he like gives people water. He's like, "Don't get used to the water. Like, don't take the condom off.
With dirt in your mouth.
You'll get used to the pleasure. Keep it on.
Put sand in your mouth first before drinking it, and then spit it out. Yeah, very cool. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Jimmy. That's awful.
Stinks.
Hey,
I got some family experience with it, but I've never been like, it's always felt like an awkward thing to bring up with a close family member. Be like, what, how was it?
You miss it?
Yeah.
Was it cool?
Was it cool? Yeah. I just have never, it's just one of those things you just kind of ignore forever.
Yeah.
So they probably appreciate that too. They probably don't want me to.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know if you know this, Jimmy. My mom died from alcohol. Mm-hmm. And when she was clean, I would, God, I'm a horrible son. I'd be like, do you like miss it? I would do that. Like honestly, do you like miss it? And she'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. Because honestly, I don't care who you are, but like it gets hot here in the summer. I'm sorry, cracking open a crisp cold beer, it doesn't get more refreshing than that. So
lemonade.
No, it doesn't hit.
Have you ever tried lemonade before?
Tea.
That doesn't hit.
Yeah, did you ask your mom if she's tried sweet tea? Because sweet tea in the summer is definitely, I think, more refreshing than a beer.
Yeah, but sweet tea doesn't have the fucking and then that first sip.
True.
There's something about that first sip of a cold beer.
Why don't you just get tea in a can? They've made that before.
Yeah. Twisted tea.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's not even
not the
same.
Twisted one.
It's not even the same. The brisk iced tea.
It's definitely not the same.
Okay, dude.
It's definitely not the
Las
same.
Las Vegas boys, shut up. Okay.
I know.
If you come at me with sweet tea versus brisk in a can.
I know. I've had George's sweet tea before, like homemade. It's not comparable.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
And even that's a far cry away from a nice cold Bud Light.
Ham's beer.
Damn.
It's a good signifier too. Like I had a long day and now it's time to relax. And yeah, I don't know if it's marketing or what, but yeah, they got us by the balls when you crack it open. Yeah. Take your bra off. I'll probably drink 10 beers after this podcast because it's been so grueling.
I like accidentally stopped drinking forever. I didn't even mean to. I just haven't had alcohol in a really long time. Just haven't thought about it.
You know why? It's because of your job. I have friends that get on Discord, and every Friday night they're like, let's get trashed and play games together. It feels so sad drinking beer at your computer on Discord. Like I'll
true, yeah.
I'll join them and I'll drink like a beer or 2 beers, but I'm like, I gotta be someplace doing something with somebody to drink.
Yeah.
It is more fun, but I can't relate. I've had many times where I just stream and black out, and it's really fun every time. You always feel horrible the next day, and sometimes, like when you finish the stream and turn off the camera, and then you just look around at all the bottles, and like nobody's actually there. Yeah, then it can hit you. It can get really sad very quickly.
Cleanup.
But during it, I'm like,
the cleanup after a drunk stream is insane.
Yeah. It just stinks down here. I've spilled so much beer like into the wood of this table, and it's just soaked in, ruined keyboards and stuff. Yeah, that's always. Next day, you're just like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
You could have done that sober.
Deleted a couple VODs.
You didn't even keep the VOD? That's insane.
My most notorious one, I think I drank 8 Voodoo Ranger Tall Boys, and then went on a like 2-hour Star Wars rant about just the current state of Star Wars and what I like about Star Wars and what I don't. And I was so embarrassed the next day when I woke up because I had like messages about it that I couldn't bring myself to watch it, so I just deleted it.
It could have been golden there. It could have been your golden hour. You didn't even.
It felt good while I was saying it. From what I remember, but I kind of forgot there's like a whole hour of it that I just had no memory of, and
that's called a flow state. By the way, you were in your.
I did hit my flow state, and I was playing the game while doing that and like beating bosses, and I did feel like I was probably in a flow state on Jedi Fallen Order, but it's like a day after drinking anxiety. What's that called? Anxiety, and that can be really destructive because I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror, and it could have been gold, but I was so frankly embarrassed and scared that. I mean, I have no idea what I get pretty passionate about Star Wars, so it could have been pretty aggressive. So I just deleted it. I wish I wouldn't have now, but
you ever have a stream so bad, Jimmy, that you delete it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that before. I don't even stream a lot, and I've still had that happen.
Yeah.
It's never
makes sense with your podcast history.
What is that supposed to mean?
Speaking of which, do you think this one's good enough to make it? Should it go live?
There's no way this isn't good enough. You can't tell me.
The bar's pretty high.
There's no way it's that high. There's no way. I was listening to your guys' podcast, and I was like, all right, these topics, I know I'll be able to do it. This isn't anything fucking...
He didn't even know who Dr. Manhattan was before we started.
And that's fine. Didn't do one Morpheus joke or reference, but okay.
I'm not going to do one.
You could save it right now. Pick up a fake phone and say... Morpheus? What the hell?
Morpheus, get me out of here. Tank, I need a line out of here.
Wait, I think we just got our outro.
Dude, yeah, we need to have that. We need to get some old-timey, the Matrix phones.
I've got one.
The one that you click the side and it extends.
Oh,
and then we'll get Stalt to do some next-level VFX to turn us into code, and then the phones will suspend and then drop like they do in the movie. That should be our outro.
Okay, well,
in the future.
I saw in the game that you want to play for the thing, you can get Matrix code look.
Whoa.
So we could put those on at the end and be like, Morpheus, yep, we'll do it.
Yeah, but we had to do it like an actual phone call where we're like, hello, Morpheus, is this you? Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm doing the thing. Like in the movies, it's always so curt. The conversations in the movies. I feel like if I was actually having Morpheus, if I was calling him, I'd be like, hey, how you doing, dude? I haven't seen you in...
You're kind of like a legend.
Dude, I think I still have days where I think about that first podcast because for like 2 weeks after, I woke up in like a dreadful state of mind. Like I kept overthinking it. I was overthinking it so fucking hard. I'm like, these guys are never going to speak to me again. They hated that I did that to them.
We thought about that. We actually talked a lot about that, about whether or not we should talk to you again.
Yeah. I figured.
You should be thanking Brian.
Yeah,
He's
Brian was the only person in your corner, and now look where he is. He's gone. We had to kill him for his opinion. We said, hey, his last dying wish was please talk to Jimmy again, and then we strangled him to death. And so that's
I'm sorry
why you're
for calling you shifty, Brian.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that when I said that.
Well, he's atoms now. He's reduced to atoms. So he can't hear you. You don't believe in the afterlife he's currently in.
He's in the earth, dude. He's giving back.
I feel like it's a lot of like people we know that I feel like should be the most comfortable being on here are always like me, Devin, Swift. It's a lot of people that after they do one, they tell me that they had a horrible time and they were really scared that it was
That's
bad.
why we stopped having friends on here. I thought like friends naturally we gel with them so well, and then they get on here and they overthink it. Yeah.
Well, I think that's why it's good. It seems like for Jimmy too, like do one, delete it, wait a little bit, do it again. All the nerves are gone. You already know how bad it could be.
3 years of warm up.
Yeah.
So to sit on it for a while. I can tell you've
been practicing.
Yeah. I practiced a lot of the things I said today.
Now compliment us. Do you think we did a better job today?
You weren't hungover. I was not ordered to buy a cake that we ate a slice of and then sit on my kitchen counter.
That was a funny bit.
It was the only thing that happened.
That was a funny bit. We all had cake and we ate it in front of Poob on his birthday. But
it was good.
That's funny.
It was good.
Yeah. You know what's funny is when I told Stalt that we were having you back on, he said, "You're not going to do that stupid cake bit again, are you?" I said, "That was funny. That was the only thing that was funny about that episode.
Yeah,
was the cake.
That could have been like a 6-minute video and left it at that. Like that was it."
Yeah.
I don't even think Poob knew what was going on during that. Like you were extremely hungover. I remember that. Like
that sounds. It was like the day after my birthday.
Yeah, it was.
I was probably.
Yeah.
I probably was. Yeah, incredibly hungover, and that's really good for a podcast.
Yeah.
When you're.
Honestly, like, I've noticed, by the way, the thing that I do to prepare for the podcast the day before is I fucking go to bed early and I sleep for a full amount of time. I tell Abby beforehand, I go, if you wake me up early, it's over for you. Like it is going to be, we are going to have a situation on that day. After I finish that podcast, done. If it's bad, I'm coming out of the studio swinging because she does this thing. She's been doing this recently where like I'm sleeping and she'll come in and go like, hey, do you want to keep sleeping? She'll like wake me up. Do you want to keep sleeping? And I'll go, yeah. And then I'll go back to sleep.
I did.
And then she'll wake me up 20 minutes later. Do you want to keep sleeping? I'm trying to. Literally trying to. Yeah.
No, it's a good way to work out that like frustration and rage. You know, those like dog guards that trainers use? Like the big fat arm
to
guards.
keep like a
put her in one of those and just
go to
like
town.
Rip and tear at it.
That's a good idea.
Like bite on it and rip on it. That's what I do. And I mean, it does.
Because when I get mad,
who's wearing it when you do?
You put it on your
my girlfriend.
Yeah, you put it on your significant other,
ripping her arm around, and then or it could work for a parent. It could work for a roommate.
Well, I've seen that guy that in the 70s he developed a grizzly bear proof suit, and it shows him getting hit by a car. And I feel like if I could put my wife in one of those and then just go to town on her, it would relieve a lot of stress, I feel like, and it would reduce the conflict in the relationship. And of course, then I would put it on and let her. Yeah.
Because she's going to then be pretty pissed that you did that. So
she would probably open up like the poop flap on the back and put a stick of dynamite in there and then close the door back.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jimmy, it's been great having you. This one's gonna go out public.
It's a lot better.
This one's public.
I asked you a lot of hard hitting questions, and you really pulled through.
Yeah.
Classic interview.
Real classic interview.
Podcast.
Yeah. We'll probably have to
learned a lot.
We'll probably have to remove that segment about Israel and Palestine that you went off on for a while, but besides that, we should be pretty good. Yeah.
We're gonna keep the WoW joke.
Yeah, we'll keep that one in there. That was pretty good.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Thanks, audience.
Truckers, you keep trucking.
Keep trucking.
All right, bye.